Cowboys talks with Micah Parsons. James Slater at the NFL Network is reporting, however, that what would be characterized as meaningful talks haven't yet begun. NFL has proposed rule changes for the upcoming seasons. The season that includes banning the tush push, seeding playoff teams by record and not by division winners, and much more.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Good afternoon, everybody, on this hump day.
Hump day?
Hope you're having a hump day Wednesday. Little humping going on in your future or past or both.
It could be both.
Could be both. Could be.
Start the day off on a great note.
Yep. That is true. And finish it on a great note.
Absolutely. You know, you have 3 meals a day and then some snacks, so why not?
Why not?
Same thing, right?
Sure.
You know, we've got a interesting topic in the headline blitz that actually might be more than just a headline blitz topic. You know, Reinagel sends a lot of stories every day, and if there's boobs involved, I know I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, it's there.
Pledge is finally looking at the rundown. Producer looks at the rundown after the show begins. That's solid. There's an interesting story out there, and you tell us. Should this be a regular topic or just a headline blitz? The headline, quote, "Am I overreacting after my wife flashed her boobs at a friend's house?"
To said friend.
And as you read the article, this guy wrote this on Reddit asking for advice because he doesn't know how mad he should be. So couples are out drinking beer at the couple's friend's house. I don't know this guy, where he was at the time, went to the bathroom, whatever. But his wife and his friend's wife flashed the other dude, and he wasn't there for it. See, I think he's just mad that he missed out on said flashing. They were drinking, having a good time. Who knows what the conversation was, but the wives got together and spontaneously flashed the other dude. And he didn't know about it, but his wife told him about it when they got home. And he's upset because they live in a small town. What if people talk? Who's talking besides those 3 people and that dude that, was the beneficiary of said flashing? I think this guy is just upset that he missed out. That's why he's mad.
Well, there could be a lot of things. Now, I want to know, in the article, at least what I've read, doesn't say. I mean, was this just a spontaneous thing? Was it a planned?
That way.
Was it a? Yeah, but they're both at the same time. Did they just look at each other and say, "Hey, let's
girls
flash?"
Are drinking and whatever, and boobs are out.
See, now I would have to say, well, what if my wife, where I wasn't around, flashing some dude? Maybe is that like foreplay?
With nothing else happening.
Maybe the wife of the guy and told the other wives, "Hey, this guy's pretty good. Maybe you ought to get in on it and flash the goods, and maybe you might get lucky."
He wrote, this is pretty straightforward. Wife and I were hanging out at a friend's house. Our 12-year-olds are best friends, and they do sleepovers. We usually stay for a beer or 2, and we drop them off. That's what they did here, except for they had a lot more than just a beer or 2. While she was outside with the other couple, the 2 wives ended up flashing the other husband their boobs. That was it. I didn't witness it.
That had to be planned.
She confessed to it when we got home. I feel like it was more spontaneous.
I think it was planned.
Just drunkenness.
You're standing there with the other wife. The guy's standing there. Maybe he said, I'd like to see your boobs.
Yeah, because that. And
she's like, okay.
Yeah. I live in the real world. I imagine there was drunken conversation going on, and all of a sudden there was some flashing. And this guy's upset that he missed out on it.
Well,
That's what it is.
He missed it. Well, they should have gone to him next. I mean, it only seems fair, right?
See,
you
again.
flash the friend. You says, okay, now it's my husband's turn to see the flashing.
See, this is why I think this is more than just a headline Blitz topic. Because what would you do in that situation? Is there anybody in the wrong here? Should the guy be upset? Now, we don't know, like, if he has major trust issues with his wife, that's one thing. And if they've got major trust issues, she probably is fully aware of that. So then that was probably a bad idea. But she told him about it later. It's not like he heard about it from the other dude.
He would have never known.
He would have never known.
I just want to know where the hell he was.
He was probably in the bathroom.
Well,
I mean, he doesn't say why he wasn't there. He says, we're not in college anymore, and these are some of our adult friends in a very small town. What do people think? Well, nobody's going to know outside of the people that know about this unless you're the one talking.
Well, I don't know. And obviously he is. He wrote there's a whole article on this
Yeah,
thing.
but he doesn't say where they live.
Yeah, but everybody knows now. And if I'm the other dude, I'm talking. I'm talking. I'm down at the hardware stores and, hey, Hank, guess what happened to me last night?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joe's
Hank, huh?
wife?
Yeah.
She's got some big ones.
Yeah. Of course, that'd be obvious regardless of whether there is clothes on them or not. Right?
True. But there's one thing to see them under clothing, another thing to see them full boob.
Yes. That's why it's a nipple. I mean, that's the thing. That begs the question.
Right? I'm telling you. Puts a whole new meaning to hump day.
I mean, in a lot of ways.
Hump day? That's a double hump camel.
Let me see. Jose says, sounds like his wife wants to swing.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. There was a hidden meaning there.
I think if you're into that, you're into that, and flashing isn't going to be what propels that. You know, in New Orleans, there's all kinds of flashing going on. That's pretty common, right?
Well, sure, but you're not going to get anything. You're throwing beads.
Yeah.
What I'm talking, you're at somebody's house.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you might have thought, your husband's about to pass out in the bathroom. Let's see the goods, darling.
Yeah, that just sounds. It's amazing you've been married. With those pickup lines.
Well, it's.
Let's see the goods, darling.
Yeah.
Did that ever work when you were single?
No, nor would I say that I'm aware of. This was after a couple of drinks. I don't know.
I just go back. This guy's just mad he missed out. That's what's got him hot and bothered.
That could be.
Unless there were like major trust issues. Ultimately, he's a very jealous guy. All of that kind of stuff. I think this guy's just super jealous that he missed out.
That I suppose. But if that's the case, he needs to tell his wife and say, the next time we drop the kids off to spend the night,
Keep
or
your
vice
shirt on?
versa. No. It's like, it's my turn. You flash that dude. Now, let's go.
Well, his wife's probably going to flash him. It's the other wife that,
Duh.
But it's.
What the hell?
It sounds like it's something that's got to be extremely spontaneous. You can't plan that out.
I'm not sure this was spontaneous. Think about it. The two women just happened to end up outside with the other guy while the other dude's in the bathroom or where the hell he was.
I think they were all outside, but, he's got a Rheinagel bladder, and he was out there, and whatever the conversation, he left at the wrong time.
I just think this was
whole new meaning that you got to learn how to hold it.
This was a planned flash. They've been planning this for days.
Some of the comments, dude went back and they act like nothing happened, red flags. Jose says, if I were him, I need to see the other guy's wife now.
Right, that's exactly, Jose. That's what I'm talking about. It's only fair.
It's only fair.
Only fair.
Only fair.
Yes. I don't know how you tell your wife that.
I think it's pretty easy.
Well, yeah, if Harry there saw your boobs, it's only fair that I see Harry's wife's
yes,
boobs.
it's fair play.
Yes.
Miguel says must be an Alice thing.
I'm not sure what's an Alice thing.
It's small town.
Oh. Well, sure. It's a big hair right there. What the hell?
Like, all of a sudden, Reinagle stopped. If you're watching on YouTube, that was odd, wasn't it?
Well, so,
Reinagle just stopped mid-sentence and starts picking at the microphone.
And
if this doesn't belong on here.
Well,
what's that?
I could see something, and I'm like, what the hell? And there was a hair just flapping around there.
Yeah?
I had to get that off. So if you're watching, you got to know what happened if you're driving around. Sorry.
Was that Rob Thompson's hair?
I have no clue. I would assume. He's the only other one that uses this mic that I'm aware of.
On a regular basis. By the way, I saw Halen earlier today in the break room.
Yeah.
Fixing your broken mic is going to cost $400 to replace that piece.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you broke that thing.
I didn't break it.
$400.
How do you know Rob didn't break it?
How do we know you didn't break it?
I didn't. I know I did. I'm telling you.
But you were the one that complained that it was broken, so you're going down as we need to replace Joe's mic.
Well, that's fine.
$400.
That's fine. I mean, what do you want, a loose mic? A mic that just wobbles all over the place? I don't want that.
For $400?
Oh, $400. Come on.
Jose says it's definitely ain't AJ's hair.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. Wow. Dude's on vacation, and he's
still getting
hit on the top rope.
Yeah.
Brutal. Brutal. So is Micah close to getting a deal done? Last night, Twitter was all over the place with all these different articles. This is where I'll go back and say, trust the reporters that you follow. To see which way the wind is blowing, because there was all kinds of things out there. Now, Micah's brother was a big part of that. So, I don't know, do you trust a relative or the reputation of other reporters? Either way, seems like conversations are happening. How serious? We'll find out. Either way, Micah close to getting paid. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need some new golf shirts with your logo on it, fishing shirts, any kind of shirt outside. Sam has his spring line on display right now. If you need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands. North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, Under Armour, to name a few. Only company in Texas that offers a one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club. Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Check out the grand opening of Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access from $49.9. That's right, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens Saturday, March 29th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at just $49.9. Call now to secure your private tour Saturday, March 29th. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for event day specials and our helicopter tours. Call now, 210-853-0389. Get your piece of this coastal paradise. 210-853-0389.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Welcome to The Hangar, Petrenko, your go-to spot for mouthwatering wings, ice-cold cocktails, and an unforgettable atmosphere. Come taste some of the best wings in town, served by their friendly staff with even friendlier cocktails. Only at Hangar Petrenko, where great food, drinks, and friends come together.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
Yeah, this is some old disco music, isn't it? No? Looks like disco music. Sounds like disco music.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just stare deep into that radio, man. You might see John Travolta.
Wow. Who was that, Pledge?
This is Daft Punk and Pharrell Williams.
Oh. I wouldn't have guessed that.
No, I wouldn't have either.
I knew the song, but I didn't know who it was.
I've heard of Pharrell Williams.
Have you?
Yeah.
That surprised me.
Let's just go by Pharrell, right? Right?
That does surprise me. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
Have you heard of Papa Roach?
I have. Big Papa Roach. I have heard of Papa Roach. I hear he's going to be in town.
Yes.
He and his roaches.
All of them. The whole family.
Yeah.
The whole family. Rise of the Roach Tour. Saturday night at the Frost Bank Center. We got a pair of tickets. Let's give them away right now. Caller number 17 at 210-656.
Welcome
ESPN.
to Wednesday, Pledge.
656-3776.
Was that just random?
They're always random.
Yeah, 17, huh? Wow. Good luck, everybody.
See, I know, pledge, because we were at a deal earlier today, or I was. A lot of media types were there, including Rob Thompson. And one of the people there said, in the morning, they always do like caller 1 or 4. And you're always these random numbers in the teens. And I was like, they're nicer to their producer, but their producer has to pee every break, so he doesn't have time to take 17 calls.
Oh, is that the deal?
Yeah, Vic's down a kidney, so I mean,
I got you.
He's got to go a lot.
He's down a kidney.
He might be down 2. Is he down 2?
All right. Well, you
no,
can't
but
be
they
down
got 2
2
producers.
Well, I mean, like I said, between them, they don't have all the kidneys there.
I don't think you can be down 2 kidneys.
I don't.
I think.
Well, I said 1 and Pledge held up 2 fingers like that. I was thinking, he can't be down 2, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But now I understand. Vic, he's got some good takes sometimes in the morning.
Oh, yeah. No, Vic is great, man.
Well, I mean, then you see the 2 guys he's with. So, I mean,
Like I said. They like to just find a winner and be done.
No, yeah.
I want you to earn it.
Well, you want Pledge to earn it.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
There's that.
He needs to do something in there.
Mm-hmm. So last night there was all kinds of stuff on social.
Unbelievable, yeah.
And a big part of that was Micah Parsons' brother jumped in. And last night you probably saw something on Twitter that said 5 years, $200 million, and they're close, getting a deal done with Micah Parsons. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe. And I'm surprised to see 5 years. The $200 million, that adds up. 5 years, I mean, it's David Mulligetta. That would surprise me, but it's certainly possible. Then you see Jane Slater, a Clarence Hill saying it's not what they're hearing. Are talks happening? Did Jerry invite Micah up to the Star yesterday and they have a visit? By all accounts, that might have happened. But are they close? Depends on who you listen to, but I trust what Jane Slater is putting out there. But we also know these things could change in a hurry. When they're motivated, it gets done.
Well, what I don't understand, and if it's true that he was at the Star yesterday, that's fine. What did they do, have coffee? And because I don't understand this, well, they're having talks, but nothing meaningful. Well, what the hell does that mean? Nothing meaningful, but they're having talks. Well, they could be talking about the weather. They could be talking about, what they're going to do next weekend. To me, that makes no sense, and I hate hearing that. Well, there's nothing meaningful yet. I don't know what that means.
Nobody knows. I mean, what does meaningful mean? I think they're all meaningful if they're having conversations at this point. If you believe the stories that the Cowboys would like him to show up for voluntary stuff, making it non-voluntary, were they having a conversation about, we give you this, expectations change, your new leadership role on the team, this is what we expect out of our team leaders. This is a requirement. And if we're going to give you this money, voluntary or not, you need to be here. Do they put bonuses in his contract for showing up for those kind of things that are meaningful? All allowable under the NFLPA guidelines. But I don't know that when you're talking about $200 million, if there's $1 million bonus for showing up for voluntary and he doesn't want to go, it's $1 million. For a guy that's about to get 200, what's that 1 million going to do? So how meaningful of a bonus is that? But can they also put some, I don't want to say penalties in there, but and I forget what the NFL term is, but when they deduct things when you don't show up for not being there, could they have some of those that are meaningful? It just seems like before the serious nuts and bolts of the deal get done, but, I mean, we know where Jamar Chase is, so we know he's going to make more than that. So it doesn't seem like it would be overly complicated if Jerry wants to get it done sooner and Micah wants to get it done sooner. But I do think it's encouraging that if Micah did go up to the Star yesterday to have a meeting with Jerry, then to me that is meaningful, despite reports saying they aren't meaningful. They might not be like serious contract negotiations, but level of expectation set upon Micah Parsons from the boss.
Could be. Would Micah go for that? Like, hey, Micah, we really I know you're making a lot of money with that Bleacher Report thing, but we'd like for you to stop that. Can't do that anymore. We really would. It's causing some issues. Some of the other players not happy about some of the things that you say, so we'd really like for you not to do that. I don't know how much money Micah makes for that. I would assume it's a nice little side gig, but it's certainly not going to match what he does. Is that an issue? Is that a problem? That could be. And if they're talking about that, okay, that could be meaningful stuff. But what I don't get when I hear reporters say that, yeah, they're talking, but nothing meaningful yet. I just said that doesn't. If they're talking, they're talking. How do you know there's nothing meaningful?
If they haven't really nailed down into the numbers. I mean, you look at the deal that Derek Stingley signed the other day, but he had his press conference today down in Houston. And you look at David Mulligetta is Derek Stingley's agent. So just using the formula, and I know all these deals are a little bit different, but they did Derek Stingley's deal 2 years early. But Stingley's new deal doesn't kick in for a while because he still has 2 years left on his deal. So essentially he's there for 5. Could you do the same thing with Micah Parsons? Play out on your 5th-year option, which is, $24 million, and have a 4-year deal on top of that at 40 whatever, and you've got your 5 years if you're Jerry Jones. In other words, don't rip up the final year and start the new contract now. Play it out and go from there, which I was surprised to see Stingley's deal done that way because that doesn't really seem to fall in line with a lot of Mulligetta deals. But that's what the player wanted, and that's what the team wanted, and it's a win-win. But also why so much of that was guaranteed because those 3 years don't really kick in until after his current deal is up. So Mulligetta is showing with the Stingley deal that he's going to do what the player wants done and work with the team. And if you're following this from a Cowboy fan perspective, that's great because it seems like a lot of times Mulligetta just pins the team against the wall and gets everything for his player, and they all seem recently one-sided for Mulligetta. So to see that is encouraging from a Cowboy fan perspective, looking at how the Micah Parsons deal could ultimately work out.
Again, it baffles me that we're sitting here again, another offseason. We're talking about another contract that hasn't been done, that we're still talking, meaningful or not, and it's just it makes no sense. I mean, I can't figure the Cowboys out sometimes, or any time for that matter. It makes no sense. If Micah Parsons is that big of a deal for your team, why have you not signed him? Why do you not have him locked up? Why do you not make him happy? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. When a team like Cincinnati can go out and sign 2 players to huge contracts, they got that done. And a lot of people didn't think that they would, especially with T. Higgins. But they got it done. Now, you see other teams. Houston's a great example with Stingley getting it done. But the Cowboys seem to not ever get anything done until the last minute, and it just makes absolutely no sense. It has guys like us complaining on the radio. You hear fans complaining elsewhere. Talked to a bunch of Cowboy fans last night, and a couple of Cowboy fans, and they're like, what's going on? How come, Micah hasn't done this? What's happening? What's going on? And it makes no sense. And I don't understand why Jerry just doesn't want to get this out of the way and get it done and move on.
With last year's deals, while I disagree with how they handled it, because they could have been done early, I again disagree with it, but I get what Jerry was trying to do. And it cost him with CeeDee Lamb. This year, the deck's already been cleared with that Jamar Chase deal. So it's not like there's another player available right now that is going to sign a deal that is going to change things for Micah Parsons' contract. And so it can get done a whole lot sooner. And if you want to keep that player with a new defensive coordinator at voluntary workouts, part of the offseason into training camp, because if I'm Mulligetta, I'm not letting Micah Parsons go to anything team-related until I have this new deal, and that includes training camp. And if he has to hold out to get it. But Jerry's, recently has done that, whether you're talking about a Zach Martin, you're talking about a CeeDee Lamb. And the last time he did a deal early was Diggs, and that bit him in the ass because Diggs got hurt. But that's just the nature of the NFL. Jerry did the right thing with Diggs. I want to see him do the right thing now with Micah Parsons, and there's no reason not. But last night, all that news is encouraging that maybe they are closer than we think. You hear about the Max Crosby deal with the Raiders. That seemed to come together really quick because he had two sides that were really motivated to get done. It does feel like Micah Parsons is motivated to get this deal done.
Well, what makes you say that?
Did he show up yesterday?
I don't know. Did he?
Or
was that just that was one report?
There are reports there, but I'm looking at his brother.
That's a credible source.
His brother?
His brother?
Have
you seen his brother's tweets?
I have.
He's nothing but a troublemaker.
But again, though, he says they're talking.
Well,
right?
okay.
All right.
You think Micah actually tells his brother what the hell's going on?
I would imagine. Just like Dak's brother was pretty damn good source when it came down to it, when all the stuff was hitting the fan until his brother took his phone away.
Exactly.
Again, I could only if his brother's saying that they're talking, I got to believe that they're talking. His brother knows enough at this point not to put stuff out there that is blatantly false, right? But yeah, I do think that his brother would know if he was up there. And again, there are. Jane Slater, I have no reason to believe it won't be done or can't be done soon. Just telling you, I now have three sources telling me deal isn't done. Second, telling me they wouldn't characterize the talks as meaningful enough right now to put pen to paper.
Well, that means they're far away on something. Is it money? Is it contract length? What is it? There's something that's holding the deal up.
But Slater writes, reading between the lines, communication has begun, but they aren't there yet. So are we dealing with the structure of the deal? Is it, play out this next year on your rookie deal, and then the new contract kicks in? Or is Micah wanting to get the final year ripped up and start the new contract now? When does that guarantee money hit his bank account? Is it guaranteed at signing, or is it guaranteed after this year when that big windfall of money is going to hit his bank account? All those things are probably what's in play right now for Micah Parsons in the structure. But even a Jane Slater is saying communication has begun.
Well, it's funny to me. It really is. At all these other teams, the Houston Texans, by the way, just signed an offensive tackle by the name of Cam Robinson. And they've signed him for a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, Cam Robinson?
Yes.
Good signing.
$14.5 million is what they're saying. Maximum value is what it is. Yeah, and they're redoing their offensive line. So good for the Houston Texans to get that done. I'll believe it. If it happens before July, I'll be shocked. I don't understand and won't understand. It's already cost Jerry a lot of money.
Yep.
It already has. So it's probably cost him, I don't know, $4, $5, $6, $7 million more per year than it would have had he gotten this thing done. Now, I will give Jerry the benefit of the doubt. That might not have all been Jerry. That could have been some of Micah Parsons too.
The other part of it, as we sit here today, it's probably not going to cost Jerry any more money now to wait.
No.
Because there's nobody else that's going to sign that's going to change the market.
But why not make your player happy?
Well,
why not get it done and then move on? Instead of having people talking about this ad nauseum like we do, like everybody in Dallas does, like every national television show talk, why not just get it done? Then you can turn your full attention to what you're going to do in the draft.
You just literally answered your own question. Jerry wants us talking about him all the time. And if he does that during the tournament, if we're not talking the Cowboys, what are we talking about?
The Cowboys. We're still going to be talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah, but
it's never going to change.
Jerry doesn't want to take that chance.
Well, he knows better.
Yeah, well, does he?
He does.
Actions.
He knows better.
Speak louder than words.
We'll see what happens.
The latest on Aaron Rodgers.
Speaking of hump day.
Yeah.
I think he's a bum.
Yeah. Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's Wednesday. You want to get into the Rue Pub tonight, 281 in Redland Road, because it is steak night. Go in and get that Minix ribeye for $19.95. Wash it down with a Reinagel Stiffy, and you're going to have a fantastic night. Plus, the Spurs are playing tonight. They'll be on. Longhorns are playing tonight. That game will be on because all the games are on at the Rue with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. The food is fantastic. Now, tonight, I know you're going to get the steak, but maybe you want the fried shrimp. Basketball, you want to have wings? They've got the biggest and best wings in town. Maybe get that bison burger, which is outstanding. They have about 15 different burgers on the menu. Great salads, I'm told. The appetizers are outstanding, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. They'll be open early the next couple of days, Thursday and Friday, for the tournament, the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road, just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. We'll see you at the Rue.
Listen all this week to the Blitz to win tickets to see the Counting Crows at the SB. Saturday, August the 2nd, the Counting Crows, the complete sweet store, comes to the SB. Tickets are on sale now. Go to thesb.com. Win tickets to the Counting Crows with special guests, the Gaslight Anthem from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-4499. 800-848-4499. Again, that's 800-848-4499.
The Basketball Madness headquarters is always at Twin Peaks, and the Blitz is live this Thursday and Friday to cover all the action.
This Thursday, we're at Twin Peaks Park North, and Friday, we're at the Westover Hills location.
Catch all the madness in the best seats in the house with the lovely ladies of Twin Peaks. Happy hour food and drink specials along with the frosty 29-degree drafts.
It's this Thursday. The Blitz is live 2 to 6 at Twin Peaks Park North, and then Friday, we're doing it again at Twin Peaks Westover Hills.
For 70 years, we've been known as the Humane Society of the United States. But as the challenges animals face have grown, so have we. We are now called Humane World for Animals. And with you on our side, we are going to end animal cruelty around the globe. Humane World for Animals, the end of animal cruelty.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Order for Jennifer C. Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve? Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine? Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Oh, really? That's great. Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Yeah, you just said that. Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like, you know to check you have gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get ready to play in the street. Ciclovia returns to the Broadway route on Sunday, March 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This YMCA of Greater San Antonio community fitness event takes over the streets for cycling, walking, and safe, healthy fun. Visit ciclovia.org for more details.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. And it's all about having a great time. Grab your buddies and ladies too. Hit the course for a fun, laid-back day of golf, laughs, and a little friendly competition at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, April 14th. It's just $120 a player or $400 for a foursome. A solid deal for a day of good times with your crew. The Spring Golf Classic benefits the Pan American Golf Association. But don't worry, this isn't some high-stakes tournament. It's all about kicking back, having fun, and making memories. Presented by Fly by England and sponsored by Ancira.com and PBL Motorhomes. After you've crushed it on the course, join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Cold drinks, great food, and good times with all of your buddies. So grab your spot, grab your crew, and tee off for a day of unforgettable fun. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Munix. Thursday and Friday, tournament time officially underway. We'll be live at Twin Peaks both Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow, the Park North location there at 410 and Blanco. On Friday, 410 and 151 location. I know there's games tonight. There were two last night. One actually was pretty good. One had a great finish. Although we all know the tournament actually starts tomorrow, despite what they tell us.
Although tonight's a pretty important night.
It is a very important night.
Texas taking on Xavier.
Hook 'em.
For the right to get in.
Hook 'em.
Well, they're
I'm proud of that. Hook 'em.
I mean, technically, they are in.
Technically, they are, but they're not.
Exactly.
Okay, I mean, it's like, well, you get a trophy. You get to play another game if you win this one.
Yep.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
You can listen to both games tonight here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. So the Longhorns, big FM signal.
And you know, then I'll share some free cold beer with you after I win tonight.
We've got a beer bet. Reinagel betting against the Longhorns.
I am.
I bet the Longhorns win tonight. Got some beer on the line for that.
Don't belong in the tournament. Just saying.
Speaking of don't belong, Reinagel's favorite, Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
I think he's a bum.
Me too.
The world is still, revolving around this guy. Although, if you believe reports, and things can change, it's a lying season. Keep that in mind. The Vikings are not interested in Aaron Rodgers. They want J.J. McCarthy to be their starter. So with that in mind, they are out on Aaron Rodgers. So for now. Now, a lot of things can change. But at least the reporting right now is they're committed to J.J. McCarthy as their starter. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to go anywhere to be a backup. It almost seems like he wants to be a guaranteed starter. So that leaves Pittsburgh and the New York Giants that reportedly have offers out to him.
How long do they wait for this guy? That's what I'm going to know. Because then you see like Schefter and some of the others, Rappaport saying it looks like there's no hurry for Aaron Rodgers to make a decision. Well, at some point in time, these teams are going to go away. At least I hope so. I really do. I hope Pittsburgh and the Giants just give the big old middle finger to one Aaron Rodgers. Just, dude, go away.
All right, but let me ask you this. We're now on March 19th. Free agency started 9 days ago. Neither one of those teams have signed a quarterback. Russell Wilson has been available. I mean, he's been, he could easily go back to Pittsburgh. He could maybe sign with Cleveland. But everybody's waiting on Aaron Rodgers. If Pittsburgh just wanted to make a quarterback decision and move on and they wanted Russ back, they would already have Russell Wilson back. So Aaron Rodgers knows there's no competition right now, so these teams will wait as long as it takes.
I can't imagine they'll wait as long as it takes.
I mean, we're 9 days in.
Why would it? Yeah, but if he waits until, I don't know, July, August, I mean, how long can you wait for that? You've got to get somebody in there. Yeah, well, they're going to have OTAs as well.
Sure.
You got to have somebody.
But, I mean, there's no urgency or deadline right now for Aaron Rodgers to make a decision. And no team has apparently given him, hey, Aaron, take all the time you want. We'll be here. It seems desperate. But if you're Pittsburgh, I think you are desperate. And if you wanted Russell Wilson, you would already have Russell Wilson signed and moved on and forget Aaron Rodgers. I mean, so Aaron Rodgers knows that. What are your other options right now, Pittsburgh? Unless you work a trade, you have no other option. So when I decide, because it is about me, Aaron Rodgers will make that decision, and Pittsburgh will celebrate when he picks them or curse him if he picks the New York Giants.
So if there's no option now, there'll be no option, I don't know, come July or August. So if you're Pittsburgh, you've got to decide, I need a quarterback, unless you think Mason Rudolph can be that guy, because he's the only quarterback that I know of that's on that roster right now. They can't give him unlimited time. And whether he thinks they can or not, he's a fool. Because at some point in time, you got to move on with life. That doesn't, it doesn't mesh with Aaron Rodgers' life.
I will say June, July, August, that's probably too late for him to make a decision. But I would say those reports we heard around the draft might actually be accurate. Because around the draft, you'll have teams making trades, making deals, or selecting a quarterback. I don't necessarily know that Aaron Rodgers has to make a decision until offseason activities actually get underway. Now, you would like him to make a decision sooner rather than later, but also would it surprise you if Aaron Rodgers was like, New York, they don't have all the pieces. The Pittsburgh Steelers do, but for whatever reason, he doesn't like those sandwiches. So let's not go to Pittsburgh. And not really retire, but wait until there's an early injury, and then everybody's going to be desperate to go sign him. Some team will be, because that seems to happen about every year. Could that be what's in play for Aaron Rodgers? He doesn't really like his options, and he's not ready to retire. I do think we all know Aaron Rodgers' ego enough to safely say he does not want to end his career the way it ended with the New York Jets. He wants to go somewhere where he's got a chance to win, and he can at least have success going out, whether it's winning a Super Bowl or not, but at least be on a successful team and not have the lasting images of he went to the New York Jets and wrecked that franchise.
Which he did, which is a factual account of what happened in New York. So after he brought all his buddies in there, insisted that they have the lame offensive coordinator, and then everybody else that he wanted, the Jets acquiesced to all of it. Oh, sure, Aaron.
Yep.
You can have it all.
Yep.
Nobody else is going to do that. No, but I can't even imagine that Pittsburgh would even think about doing that. And if I want to see Pittsburgh's offer, because I've heard reports that they've offered him. I'm not sure that they have. I just have way too much respect for Mike Tomlin to think that he's going along with this circus sideshow that Aaron Rodgers is putting on. It's ridiculous to me. And, again, it doesn't solve Pittsburgh's problem. It does for 1 year. That's it. And then they got to figure it out again.
Well, and that's it. I mean, it's a year or two, short term, but he's the best option of the current available quarterbacks, and that includes Russell Wilson. And if they wanted Russell Wilson, they could already have Russell Wilson. I mean, dude seems to have made, 2 trips to Cleveland already, and they haven't signed him. New York makes the most sense for Russ just because of his wife and her career. Living in New York's probably beneficial for Russell Wilson, more for Sierra than it is for his NFL career. But the fact that he doesn't have a job yet because everybody's waiting on Aaron Rodgers. He's the bridesmaid, and he knows it, or he would have a job.
Well, what's interesting to me is Russell Wilson. You just mentioned Sierra. The hell does he want to play football anymore? Dude's got more money than he'll ever spend in his entire life. His kids will not spend that money.
So does Aaron. All those guys do.
I mean, it just makes no sense. But look, Russell Wilson's lost it. I think we have all watched that play out. Aaron Rodgers had a couple of good games that were meaningless at the end of the year. What makes you think Aaron Rodgers has anything left in the tank? I don't know that he does. And I don't think that he does. The guy won a Super Bowl early in his career.
2010.
Okay, and he's got 4 MVPs. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Long time ago.
I don't know. I think he solves a lot of short-term problems for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they must think that too, so they're willing to wait for him. It's crazy, isn't it? It's almost like some of these rule changes that have been proposed. It's always fun every year, every offseason, when you see the rule changes that are proposed. And very rarely do these things actually get enacted. But some of these are interesting. The Detroit Lions propose playoff seeding without regard to division championship. So, in other words, just because you're the best team in a bad division with around a $500 record, you should not get home field. Especially like, I don't know, you win 14 games and don't win your division.
So the Detroit Lions are proposing that it doesn't matter if you win your division or not. It should go by record. And there was I guess the 3 teams that made it from the NFC North.
Yep.
They it would have the seating would have been all different.
Yep.
And things could have fallen a lot different in that respect. I don't have a problem with that. And we talk about that happening in the NBA as well, right? I mean, instead of going from the Eastern Conference to Western Conference, you just have best records make the playoffs. I like that idea because then you have the best teams in the playoffs. You have the best teams in the best seeding. I would much rather see something like that. For example, I mean, you get when the Cowboys beat the Bucks in the playoffs. Bucks had no business in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They had no business in the playoffs. So, I mean, you get teams like that. Whoever wins that division has no business in the playoffs. I mean, think about it. It's just I would love to see that rule change brought about. Just go by record. And you can still have, obviously, you're still going to have the NFC, AFC, but go by record and seed teams that way. And I think it makes the regular season that much more impactful. And it would add a lot of drama.
But again, there's got to be some sort of value on winning your division. So, like you look last year, Tampa Bay with 10 wins hosted, yet the 12-win Commanders had to go on the road. Houston hosted a playoff game last year, but if you're going by record, I think they would have been the road team against the Chargers. There still has to be some sort of advantage to winning your division. And maybe it's the home field in the playoffs goes to best record, but division winners are guaranteed a playoff spot. So, your team from whatever bad division there is in a year, and there always seems to be at least one bad division, but let's say, because the AFC is so top-heavy, the Texans won 10 games last year. They hosted a playoff game. The Chargers won 11 and had to go on the road. But let's say it's one of those years where you've got a 9-win team that wins the division. They win their division but don't get into the playoffs. I think you still have to have some sort of carrot there for your division champion.
Well, that's all well and good. But if you're 9-8 in the season, or if you win your division and you have a losing record, I mean, I don't think you should be rewarded for that. That just means your division sucks.
Well, it does.
And so I just think, look, Division winners, I guess it should mean something. I just like to see the best teams involved in the tournament. And a lot of times you don't have that. It's kind of like what we have now in the NCAA. I mean, we got these teams that are just playing in to get whacked by their next opponent.
Yes, exactly. Well, you look at like Cincinnati last year at 9 wins. They wouldn't have made the playoffs regardless if you just go with wins. But, had they had another win, would they have been in the playoffs? Likely not. We've seen it where there's a good team that doesn't make it because their division was so tough, and division winners are rewarded with the playoffs. You still have to have something for those division winners, whether it's a home playoff game or not. I'm willing to let that go. But if you win your division, and if your record is that bad, so you're the last seed in, and you're going to get fed to the Wolves, but you're still a playoff team just from winning your division.
It's great fodder for us to talk about. I don't think that rule will ever change, because I think the NFL thinks exactly like you. They're going to reward division winners with a playoff spot, and that's the way it's been, and I think that's the way it will always be. And if that's the case, I'm okay with it. But a change like this, I would be willing to listen to how they're going to do it and what the rules would be. Just because I think it would add some drama and some excitement. I mean, do we really need Atlanta or New Orleans in the playoffs or Tampa Bay?
I mean,
no.
There's been times where those wild card teams have gone all the way to the Super Bowl.
Well, the Giants did it.
Just get into the dance. That's a big part of it. Got to go. Some other interesting rule changes we'll get into a little bit later on in the show. The tush push is on there. Should you be at a first down for defensive holding? All kinds of interesting stuff we'll talk about coming up. Plus, we have the headline blitz, with a very interesting topic about flashing here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Injuries do happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now injury clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. If you're injured, get to Ortho Now. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
To the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing. If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out. From small-degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders, I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Hey, Rob Thompson here from my friends over at Prize Picks. The second half of the basketball season is here. The race to playoffs is on, and there's no better time to hit Prize Picks because the money, it's heating up. 1,000 times your cash, Taco Tuesdays, and the way they pay, let me tell you. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your accounts. There's no better way to get started with Prize Picks than right now as basketball season ends. And here's the best thing about Prize Picks is you can combine different leagues. You got a favorite in the pros, you got a favorite in the college, you can put them together to really maximize your bets. And remember the code Alamo. Remember, you download that when you sign up today. There's money to be had. No better place than Prize Picks right now. As the basketball season winds down, go for the place to get the best cash with your favorite sports. That's Prize Picks. You know what you're doing. Go play. In fact, go run your game.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Houston Texans made a move today, signing an offensive lineman. His name is Cam Robinson. It's a one-year deal worth up to $14.5 million. San Antonio Spurs back in action tonight. They're welcoming the New York Knicks. Frost Bank Center, the tip-off there is set for 7 o'clock. An NCAA tournament tonight. First four continues. American takes on Mount St. Mary's in a 16-seed battle. Texas has Xavier.
This SportsCenter update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate that. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Like, comment, all that good stuff.
Always some great conversation in our YouTube chat. So if you haven't been over there and you want to check it out, you really should, because it's quite the community in our YouTube chat room.
It really is. And we see a lot of you guys in the YouTube chat live at Twin Peaks this week. Tomorrow we'll be at the Park North location. Friday, 4:10 and 1:51 as the tournament gets underway in full swing. Although there are games tonight, including the Texas Longhorns, that are not only going to win the game, but win me some beer, some Flight by Yingling from one Joe Reinagle, our first beer bet of the year.
Yeah. Well, and I feel pretty good about this one, obviously.
Do you?
Yeah, because Texas doesn't belong. So Xavier's going to put them out of their misery.
Now, let me ask you a question. As we all want to gauge your gut, how much money did you bet last night against North Carolina?
Not much. It was modest.
But
it was modest.
Uh-huh.
Look, North Carolina proved nothing last night, other than they can whip up on a team that it's,
I'm just saying, your gut.
Well, dude, I mean, have you won every bet you made?
Beer bets with you? Yes.
Okay. Touche. Pretty close, yes.
Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
You know, there are sometimes you read things and you wonder about people in this world. Most of us don't have good things to say about Philadelphia Eagle fans, although I did meet one the other night at Rue Pub, although I think she was just looking for a green T-shirt and had that one, as opposed to being a real Eagle fan. But interesting letter written to a Rams player complimenting this guy for the other team for sportsmanship. And you realize there are decent Eagle fans out there.
Yeah, apparently so. Now, it's Jared Verse, who plays for the L.A. Rams, and he had a hell of a rookie campaign.
Yep.
I mean, he came out of nowhere, and this guy was just fantastic. Actually, when they played Philadelphia, he helped up, was it a cameraman,
Yeah.
I think, after he got knocked over. And the Eagle fans saw this and took the time to write him a letter saying, hey, I'm an Eagles fan, have been for a long time. I think he said he's 66 years old. And but I just want to tell you that now I'm a big fan of yours because of what you did. That was pretty nice. So even in a city like Philly, there's a nice person.
And this guy even said, I wish we had you in Philly.
Well, everybody wishes they had this guy the way he played last year.
Sure, but I mean, you know, this guy saw that, took the time, wrote a letter, and, you know, because you remember Verse, he talked about how much he hated Philly and hated their fans and, you know, was getting taunted and snowballs thrown at him, and he was loving every minute of it because he hates everything about Philadelphia. And Philadelphia, except for this guy, hates him. But I guess there are some decent people that root for that team. I don't know any of them personally, but, I mean, there is at least a letter written by one.
I actually know one personally, and she's in the family, and she's annoying. But other than that, it's okay. Yeah.
So you have a family member that's annoying, well, which goes in line with most Philadelphia Eagle fans.
It's not her fault. It's her father's.
Well, it's always somebody else's fault. I mean, she's grown now. She could make changes.
She could, yeah.
I mean, I can tell you, it's extremely hard to divorce a team, no matter how many decades, 3, they continue to break your heart, but you're still there because you just can't divorce your damn team.
I guess so, and she's about to marry a Houston Texans fan.
She'll change.
Which is weird. It's since they live in Houston.
Yeah.
But, I've given her some Cowboy swag, but she doesn't like the Cowboys very much. So
cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
Saw an interesting deal this morning, and at first I thought, what the hell is this? Netflix, you know, they've done quarterback, they've done wide receiver, and then they teased like they were going to do mascots.
Mascots.
The greatest comeback in history. What a grab! Touchdown.
The key to success is relentless dedication.
Dream big, work hard, and never give up.
We're really trying to chase excellence every day.
Does it get heated? Yeah, it's a high-pressure situation.
Seriously? Mascots?
Is this actually the plan?
You know they don't even talk, right?
We're only gone for one season.
You're not really doing that.
Ridiculous.
Can I make another suggestion? Why don't we just do another season of quarterback?
I'm in if you're in.
I'm in.
Did you really think quarterback was going anywhere?
Very well done.
Very well done, yes.
Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Kirk Cousins again.
I find this lineup interesting. Joe Burrow's going to be fascinating, I think, to watch. Jared Goff, I don't know. He looks like a pretty chill guy. I'm not sure that he is, but And Cousins was good the first time around.
He was, and then if they obviously followed him all of last year, so we'll get the Cousins benching. We're also going to get the home robbery of Joe Burrow. I would imagine that has to make it, does it not?
Absolutely it does.
And the Batmobile that he bought. I mean, Joe Burrow is the one that seems the most interesting. Jared Goff, although some of the, like when he was with the Rams, he had that ridiculous house and all the different golf holes and all that. I don't know what the hell he has in Detroit, but that one could be interesting. Kirk Cousins just getting benched, although we saw that with Marcus Mariota also getting benched. But the Joe Burrow part, especially if they do anything with the home robbery, could be fairly interesting.
I think he'll be interesting anyway. He's just kind of one of those guys that I think will be a lot of fun to watch and kind of get to know. So I'm glad that's coming back. I enjoyed the first one, and I'm glad it's coming back. And it's an interesting cast of characters. Now, I have to believe that there's not another quarterback in the NFL that wanted to do this because you're bringing Kirk Cousins back.
Correct.
So I don't know if anybody else wanted to do this.
Obviously not.
Apparently not. So I don't know how long this series will run. It's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, they did receivers. And I'm just glad they're not doing mascots. Because when I saw the original trailer, I was like, you've got to be. They hooked me. Admittedly, they hooked me. I watched all of it. Okay. Well done, Netflix. Well done. Not well done was a soccer club. I forget which country this is in. But there was a soccer game, and one of their great players, there were reports that this dude had passed away. So before the game, they held a moment of silence and talked about how great he was. Problem is, he was driving home listening to the game on the radio, and he heard that he died. His wife, because everybody listens to the soccer games apparently on the radio, thought that her husband had died, and he walked into the door and got the biggest hug that he's gotten in a long time. They apologized for making a mistake.
Who the hell came up and said, hey, poor old Joe, he passed. Poor guy. He had a heart attack in the locker room. He's done.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Bulgaria, by the way, is where this was. A moment of silence for this guy, and he's still alive.
Well, somebody saw on Twitter that he died, and so they held a moment of silence, and they said, I think, dude, how cool. At least now you know what's going to happen when you're dead.
Yeah,
for real. You never see that when you're dead.
Nobody gets to see that.
No.
So you actually got to see how they're going to honor you.
Yeah.
Although when he really dies, you're going to say, well, dude, we did that already. It's done. It's over.
We practiced last moment of silence for real this time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very sorry for the misunderstanding. And we wish Mr. Gonchov all the best. Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But his phone was just blowing up. That begs the question. You find out somebody has passed. Do you call their phone?
Yeah, why do you call their phone? If you think they died, they're not answering.
Dude, I just saw you at lunch. What happened?
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Well, that was nice of him.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Lots of questions here. A husband asks on Reddit, quote, am I overreacting after my wife flashed her boobs at a friend's house? Interesting story that two couples were having some beers at the other couple's house. This guy disappeared somewhere. I'm going to guess, he doesn't say, but he was no longer in the backyard, probably went to go pee. And sometime while he was gone, his wife and the other female there flashed the other guy there, the other lady's husband. He's now upset.
Well, I don't know. And begs the question, would you be upset if your wife told you she was flashing some dude outside? Would that piss you off? Or would it be okay? Or would you want your shot at the other wife's boobs?
See, here's the way, when I read this guy's post, he sounds more pissed off that he missed out on seeing boobs. And he wouldn't have known about it. His wife told him about it later. See, now, if he would have found out about it from the other dude or something, that's issues there. But with the reality, I mean, they're drinking. way more than a couple beers. So you've got a couple of drunk ladies. They flash the dude. Whatever the conversation was, whatever went up, that seemed spontaneous, not planned.
Which I don't know about that. I think it was planned. I mean, how did two wives get together and just hey, whoop, and both of them at the same time? This was a planned event.
It wasn't planned beforehand.
It was a planned boobing
in the moment.
No, I think they talked about it. Hey, my old ball and chain's in the bathroom. Let's go outside and thrill your husband.
Why would that happen?
Well, I don't know why it would happen. I don't know why people do things. But this poor guy says he felt betrayed and embarrassed.
I think he's jealous that he didn't get to see.
I'm sure that's the case, but you can't just go, hey, I'm embarrassed because I didn't get to see. I'm embarrassed and I'm betrayed.
No, he also says they live in a small town, and he's worried about what other people are going to think. Now, the only way anybody's going to know about this and start judging is if you guys are talking, right? So is that just a couple of friends and you're keeping that between them? Yeah, I tend not to judge people with what they do when they're out drinking. Go have a good time and drunk stuff happens. But, I think this guy's just jealous that he missed out. Well, unless there are some major trust issues with him and his wife, but he doesn't say that. And she told him about it later. You know, it's another story if he finds out from the other guy.
Dude, I'm telling you, the guy that got flashed, he's in the barbershop the next day. And you know what? Hey, guys, you want to know what happened to me? Don't tell anybody, but let me tell you what happened to me. You don't keep this a secret.
I think we need the female perspective on this.
Where's Alexandra?
She's in there somewhere. She hadn't said anything. Either type it in the chat or dial us up, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Claymore says, blame it on the alcohol, but somebody wants to be a swinger in a threesome.
Exactly.
Chris says Joe would be bragging about it at the gym the next day if it happened to him.
You're damn right I would. You kidding me? Hey, Ray.
Fred says,
you know what happened to me?
If this happened on hump day. We need to hear from a lady on this. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We'll get into that. Take your calls. Texas, they got a big game tonight, more than just a beer bet on the line. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, you know, it is hump day, which is good, and that means the weekend is in sight, and you need to make your tee time. The weather is absolutely perfect. Springtime is here. It is golf weather. And the best place to go and get that golf fix is the Golf Club of Texas. Look, if you haven't been out to the Golf Club of Texas lately, then you haven't been out there. If you have been, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All the improvements that they've made to that golf course, they have put a lot of money into that golf course to improve it. And quite frankly, it looks like a country club. It's not, though. It is open to the public 7 days a week. You don't have to wait to the weekend. Take the day off tomorrow or Friday and get out there and play some golf. Do whatever you need to do, but it's time to dust those sticks off and get out there and start playing some golf. And the Golf Club of Texas, what I love about it is it's a challenging golf course, but it's fair. If you play well, you can score. If you don't, you're going to get punished. I love that kind of a golf course. That's the Golf Club of Texas. When you're done playing golf, you want to go into the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. Best food, it is fantastic in there. And they've got any kind of drink you want. All kinds of beer, all kinds of drinks, whatever you want. Look, the Golf Club of Texas is a destination. You need to make a day of it when you go out there. You play golf and you stick around and have some food and have some drinks. Best way to make a tee time is go to golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. It is the Golf Club of Texas. You know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether you're headed out for dinner at the 10 Cup, you want to play around with your buddies, or you might want to have your next tournament like we are doing on April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas, go check them out. Again, those best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is heading to Vegas, and you're coming with us. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas for Mega March, March 27th through the 30th. Catch baseball's opening day and all the hoops action at the world's largest sportsbook. Then take the party to Stadium Swing with 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. Book now at CircaLasVegas.com with promo code Blitz and join us at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, sun, spirits, and a sure bet for an unforgettable time.
Rock's Discount Vitamins thanks God in San Antonio for all the support. The time is here, San Antonio. Mark your calendars. 1 day, 2 locations, Saturday, March 22nd. Stop by Rock's Discount Vitamins for the Spring Break Bash. Special guest C.T. Fletcher will be at the Culebra location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then head to the Petranco location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, get 20% off the entire store all day. That's Saturday, March 22nd. Rock's Spring Break Bash. Follow Rock's on Instagram at Rock's Discount or call 210-342 Rock.
Looking for a place where strangers become friends over great drinks and food? Welcome to The Hangar, Petranco, your go-to spot for mouthwatering wings, ice-cold cocktails, and an unforgettable atmosphere. Come taste some of the best wings in town, served by their friendly staff with even friendlier cocktails. With 20 big screen TVs for all your sports needs and a gorgeous patio to enjoy the great weather, The Hangar Petranco has got you covered. Don't miss the official after party for the San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Tournament Monday, April 14th, only at Hangar Petranco, where great food, drinks, and friends come together.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we are the ones you can trust. With over 100 years of combined experience, we are committed to helping people in our local community. Get George Salinas Injury Lawyers and put our experience to work for you and your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Hey, it's Adam from County Crows. Come out and see us on the Complete Suites Tour this summer. We'll be joined by our friends, the Gaslight Anthem. It's a summer butter miracle.
Guess I should.
Old songs, new songs. Come and hang with us.
Saturday, August 2nd, the SB at St. Paul Square. Tickets on sale now at thesb.com. Presented by ATG Entertainment.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now that's a good song.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You recognize that one, huh?
I do, yes. I've seen that band in concert a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are? Can you name them?
Kingdom collapse.
There you go.
I just want a dramatic pause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yes.
Just searching your brain, trying to get the right one. Good friends of the show.
Yes, they are.
Including their bass player.
Yeah. Who was supposed to come out and try a Rheinagel stiffy, and he never made it, did he?
I never saw him. But you're right. He didn't show up on
No, he was supposed to come out and have a good old Rheinagel stiffy and didn't make it.
It must really be hard to be a bass player.
Yeah?
I saw this thing the other day. Hang on. It's got music on. Let me turn that down. Groupie accidentally sleeps with bass player.
Accidentally.
This article, it's obviously fake, but after a concert, this lady was terrified to realize that she had accidentally slept with the band's bass player, mistakenly thinking he was someone important in the band. And there's this whole article about that. Bass players get no love whatsoever.
They don't.
None.
And they should.
They really shouldn't.
Come on.
They really shouldn't.
Dude, they're an important part of the band.
Are they?
Sure.
I mean, not even the groupies want a bass player.
Well, you get them by accident. You got that going for you. You know, you just go in instead of lying about being somebody, you say, yeah, I'm the lead singer. I mean, who the hell, if the lead singer's not around, chick's not going to know.
I think the chick thought it was the guitar player.
Well, either
not the
way.
bass player.
So it's her fault. She doesn't know what a bass and a guitar are.
True.
There you go.
True.
That's her problem.
That's exactly what it is.
Accidentally.
I sent that to him. I cannot read the response that Aaron Smith gave me on that one.
I'm sure.
But it was right up there with getting a Rheinagel stiffy.
Uh-huh. Which I recommend, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Now the comments about bass players in our YouTube chat are funny. I was trying to find the comment from Alexandra because we wanted a female perspective on the story from the guy that wrote on Reddit. Am I overreacting after my wife flashed her boobs at a friend's house? Alexandra says the women planned it and took alcohol courage to do it.
I completely agree with that. This was not a spontaneous. They actually waited till the other dude went wherever he went and then did this. This was a planned thing.
So should the guy be upset?
Well, I might be a little bit, unless, again,
it's got to be fair, right?
Next time, honey, it's my turn. Just saying. No, I mean, you kind of have to, because I mean, if you think about it long enough, the guy's in the bathroom, he's gone, and they do that then. Why didn't they do it while he was standing there if it's no big deal?
Well, I have no idea. Maybe he was gone a lot longer than he's leading on.
Maybe. Or maybe he was thinking about the other woman's boobs, and was in the bathroom for a while.
That's where you're going?
I don't know.
I was thinking he was thinking of.
Oh, okay. You try not to do that at somebody else's house, right? I mean,
you would think.
Unless there's a plunger in there.
Well, there better be a plunger in there. Every bathroom should have a plunger.
Uh-huh. See, Alexander said the guy's being a big baby on our YouTube page, and I don't know that he is. Is he? I think he's got a legit gripe. Just because I think this was planned.
See, I don't know how. If it's planned, that's one thing. If it's kind of spontaneous, depending on where the conversations were going, they've been drinking, they did it at the same time, so there was some planning, but I don't know if they if they planned it like, hey, when you come over, we're going to get drunk and we're going to do this, that's one thing. But if, the conversation is going in a certain direction or whatever was going on and they do it, Mardi Gras time, I don't know.
Was he wearing beads?
I mean, maybe they had beads. The guy, we only have his side of the story, and it's Reddit, so you have no idea if this is true or not. But if he has no trust issues, then I think he's just jealous that he missed out on the flashing.
He has some trust issues.
I mean, maybe he shouldn't have been inside checking the scores.
Maybe he shouldn't have been.
Playing solitaire while his legs were going to sleep.
Or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Or they could have waited till he came back.
You can't wait on spontaneous.
This wasn't spontaneous, Minix. This was planned.
Yeah. Paul says those are the best get-togethers, especially when there are single people there. See, that's a whole different level of stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, these people were married. It was a couple, right? And so their kids have sleepovers together.
Yep.
Maybe mom was thinking, just for the kids? Let me show you the goods. Mm-hmm. You think about it.
Is that what it is?
I don't know, but this was planned.
See, AD is just depending on, are they A's, B's, C's, D's? I mean, what are we talking about here? Because that matters.
Does it really?
Well, according to AD.
Well, AD, yeah, sure.
I mean, Bubba says that's why you don't invite people to drink at your house. That's what bars are for.
Well,
it's probably happened at bars.
Sure. I mean, if you drink enough, right?
Yeah. That's it. Don't judge people while they're drinking.
I don't know. I don't, because I don't want people judging me. But this seemed a little nefarious.
Fred says
little planned.
Sounds like the dude who missed the flash has issues with the dude who saw the flash.
Could be.
He's to me, he's just jealous. He's just jealous. I don't know.
Well, they need to work this out.
Fair is fair.
They need to work it out.
Mm-hmm. So what do we got going on? Andrew Monaco.
That guy.
Yeah. Voice of the Aggies. He's in Denver right now. Heading over to Ball Arena as Texas A&M gets ready to play Yale. Andrew Monaco will join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, don't you love the weather in San Antonio and South Texas? I do, and it is springtime, and I love the way it is. But you know what spring brings? It does every single year. It brings those thunderstorms, and you know the one I'm talking about. It's the ones with the hail, the wind, the lightning, all of that kind of stuff, which can do a lot of damage to your roof. I got a suggestion for you. You ought to call Stevens Roofing now. Have them send a crew out to check your roof to make sure that everything's okay, make sure that it is prepared and ready to go for anything that Mother Nature has to throw at us here in the upcoming weeks. They'll do it for free. They'll send a crew out there. They'll give you a free roof inspection. All you have to do is call them, 210-785-0994. You can also check them out online at stevensroofing.net. Stevens Roofing, a family-owned company, a local company, been in business here in San Antonio and South Texas for a long, long time, and that means they are good at what they do. You know that's the truth. So you don't want to let Texas weather catch you off guard this season. Call 210-785-0994. Why don't you do it right now? Look, your roof is important. Keeps your family safe, and Stevens Roofing, well, they're here to make sure that you're always covered. Stevens Roofing, protecting Texas families one roof at a time. That phone number again, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the team back together. AJ in the house, and the highest of holy days is here. Tournament time is here. We'll get you ready for all the big games. The action goes all day, but you got to get here early. The party, it starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
The most exciting weekend in college basketball starts here. Don't miss the 2025 State Farm College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Championships. Witness the nation's top dunkers and sharpshooters battle it out live in person. One epic night of unbelievable skill and electrifying energy. Thursday, April 3rd at the Frost Bank Center. Tickets are going fast. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. See you April 3rd for the State Farm College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Championships. The most exciting weekend in college basketball starts here. One night, pure action. Don't miss it.
It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from Burger King, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a burger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Try Round Table Pizza's new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. And don't forget to pair it with our irresistible shareables, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. The perfect bite to complement your meal. Find the nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
Aggies basketball.
It takes one to know one, yeah, you've beat me at my own damn game.
You know, the timing of some promos is just appropriate, isn't it?
It really is.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio sports star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Wish I could say that was planned because we're now joined by the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco. Joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Andrew in Denver. What are you in route to Ball Arena for open practice? What's
Yeah, that's exactly where I am. Yeah, the Aggies are just about to take the floor. They just met with the media, and then the open practice will start in about between 5 to 10 minutes, and they'll get a chance to shoot on this floor for the first time and get ready for tomorrow.
Well, a couple of things there, Andrew, and I've got to ask you this question because nobody ever wants to play an Ivy League team. Right? I mean, it's just kind of weird because no matter who you've played this year, you've never seen anything like what they do. It's usually pretty different. How are the Aggies approaching this game with Yale?
Yeah, you make a great point, Joe, because They may not have – it's going to be absolute team basketball, and they are just going to pack it in defensively and try to take the lane away from you. Look, Yale can flat out score also, as they're one of the best scoring teams in the country, and they've got an outstanding three-point shooter in John Poulikitis. I think it's their point guard, though, who gives you the most problems with 3 triple-doubles. Mez Mbang, just a fantastic player. But you know what? I think with the SEC, the biggest thing is you played so many different styles of the other 15 teams throughout the conference. That's the biggest thing to me is you saw Oklahoma, you saw Auburn, you saw Florida, you saw Kentucky. You saw a lot of different styles from teams. Now, are they all alike? No, but it made you adjust every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And that's what I think one of the keys is. So you're going to see some similarities, and to me, that's what Buzz Williams is going to do. He's going to say, hey, this is similar to how we played South Carolina. Or this is similar to how we played Missouri. Things like that. But you're right. No, because it's just fundamentally sound. Share the basketball, a lot of assists, right? You get the really, really good shots. That's the thing. And Yale knocked out a number 4 last year when they defeated Auburn a season ago. Now, the next game, they got blitzed by a number 5 team, San Diego State, but they made noise by beating Auburn last year in the first round.
Yeah, they certainly did. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies here on the Blitz game. Tomorrow night, around 6:25 is when it's scheduled to get underway. You look at this matchup against Yale, and, you know, they are good, and look at their record winning the Ivy League. But 14 teams in the SEC get in. You talk about the gauntlet, and you've seen it firsthand sitting courtside for all of those games. How much does the SEC schedule play into preparedness for the tournament for the Aggies, or does that work against them because they know they made it through the tough SEC?
No, I think it helps prepare you. You've seen an awful lot through those 18 games, you know, and you've been tested in every single one of those 18 games, even against the 2 teams that did not make it, LSU and South Carolina. I think you're absolutely tested because of that. And for Texas A&M this year, I think Buzz Williams started that with his non-conference. You were tested against Purdue and against Texas Tech and against UCF, and in Vegas against a team like Creighton, who made the tournament, Oregon, Rutgers, teams like that. I think that non-conference played into the conference, which plays into the postseason for Texas A&M. I think it prepares you. Look, you've got to do it in the next 40 minutes to advance, but I think it absolutely prepares you for the postseason. And I'll say this, I'm not sure if you're in the field you want to play an SEC school because they have been tested night in and night out.
You know, Andrew, were you surprised that there were 14 SEC schools that made the tournament this year?
We had heard, Joe, we kept hearing 12, 13, 14 throughout the year. And as you're watching all those teams, like, yeah, I mean, a little surprised, but not very surprised when you see the depth of the conference. And, you know, reputation plays an awful lot into that as well. But it also took advantage of some other conferences being down a little bit, at least the depth. But I thought top to bottom, it was as outstanding a conference as it has been, from the players to the coaches. The SEC, look, this is a change in the last 8 years or so. It's got some of the best coaches in this conference. It's got some of the best talent in this conference. And I think, look, you can say it for football. You can say it for baseball, softball, track. I mean, there is an emphasis on sports and an excellence, whether it's the facilities, whether it's, you know, the talent, whether it's NIL, it becomes part of it. They have been out in the forefront. And 14 surprised me a little bit. I thought 12 or 13, you know, at a certain point in the season. But to get 14, I think, is a testament to how tough the SEC was.
Andrew Monaco joining us here on the Blitz, voice of the Aggies. A&M against Yale tomorrow night, 6:25, around 6:25. We know how tournament games, those start times can slide. What is the mood of this Aggie basketball team after what was a devastating double overtime loss to the Longhorns in the SEC tournament?
It was a different situation in the SEC tournament than it's ever been in the past. It's almost like the positions were flipped. The Aggies usually were the team that was playing for its tournament lives. they knew they were in. And that's not to say they weren't going to compete, because once you put a scoreboard up and you're going to be counting, that was going to be it. I thought more than the game in Nashville, I thought beating Auburn at home was the one. They had gone through the 4-game losing streak. That win over Auburn. And I thought they was very professional as well, the way they took care of LSU on that Saturday on the road. I think with the conference, it was, again, a very different position for them. They wanted to play their best. But how much more were they going to get, a 4 or a 3 seed? I don't know, because we don't know if the conference in the past, the conference didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, they put it to bed sometimes. So they were going to compete. They were going to run that starting 5 out. They're going to run the next 5 out, and they were going to compete. Look, do you want to beat Texas? You absolutely do. And for it to go double overtime, there was that competition. It was really a great Thursday in that because the first game ahead of us, Ole Miss went overtime as well against Arkansas, and Ole Miss wins that on a nearly a buzzer beater. But it was really different. They knew they were in, and at no other tournament under Buzz Williams did they know that they were in, that they were playing for their postseason lives. So that's why I say it was a little different. It was devastating because they do not like to lose, but it wasn't devastating to their postseason hopes, if that makes any sense. So now they know, look, this is now what is next. There is no more safety net. There's no more game on Saturday. You have to win. And that's what I like that the SEC tournament does. It's one and done if you lose or you play for your lives day after day. But I think this is a team that believes in itself. I think it believes in its identity. And I think it's a team that is going to be very difficult for Yale to prepare for. I don't think Yale has ever played a team like Texas A&M in their season. I'm interested to see how the Bulldogs adjust and adapt to playing a team like A&M.
Well, that's going to be interesting, and that's the beauty of the tournament, as you said. I mean, you have a bad day, your season's over very quickly, and that's the way that it goes. I want to ask you, Andrew, and all of us here obviously will be cheering the Aggies on, that's for sure. But as an observer of SEC basketball, how good is Auburn? How good is Florida? How good is Tennessee? Are those teams as advertised?
Yes. Yeah. What I like about Auburn is, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw this stat. Auburn is actually, their average age is older than the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that is.
You have guys
average salary too.
Yeah. You keep coming back and playing under Bruce Pearl. Look, Janai Broome keeps getting better and better. Chad Baker-Mazara keeps getting better. I'm telling you, Florida may be the most talented team out of the SEC. With their size, the way they shoot, the pace that they play at, and they flat out defend. I will give Rick Barnes a ton of credit at Tennessee. He develops talent as well as anybody in the SEC, and they all are confident in the way they play. But I will say this, I think those teams all know how that if something is not working, I think they have another way to win. I can't say that for every team in the SEC, but I can say it for those teams at the top of the conference, is I think they know how to adjust. I think they all defend. So if you want to play a low-scoring game or you want to play someone else's pace, you can win. But if you get stuck playing Florida's pace, good luck, because I use a line that Buzz says, they do them better than you can do them. And I think that's where Florida just is head and shoulders above an awful lot of teams. And again, their toughest tests came in the conference. And I just don't think a 16 seed is going to be able, or 15 seed is going to be able to challenge them. Now, there will be some tests as they get deeper, but I can absolutely see why they are the favorites and they have earned their 1 or 2 seeds.
Well, and you look at just, Florida's a 1 seed, Auburn's a 1 seed, Tennessee is a 2 seed. You look at all the experts and, it seems like they've got somebody from the SEC cutting down the nets, and there's going to be some SEC possibilities throughout the tournament. For example, A&M, things go the way everybody's expecting. You're going to play Auburn in the Sweet 16, although I know you guys aren't looking ahead, but at least the team isn't. But, as a broadcaster, you've got to be looking forward to we can get Michigan, and then we're going to get Auburn. What a run. This is going to be fantastic.
That's what you hope for, right? And let's not forget, Buzz is 6-2 against Auburn. I don't think Auburn wanted to see A&M on their side of the bracket. It's just not a great matchup for Auburn. Look, now what happens in Atlanta, you don't know. They're the 1 seed. You know what I mean? They're at the top, and they're going to play A&M if it comes to fruition. They're going to play with their entire complement. They clinched the SEC in that last week, so it was a little bit different. But matchups make fights, right? You always hear that in boxing, right? And that's what I find fascinating is there are some teams that have other teams' numbers, or at least play them tough and can give you some fits. Yale will do that with whomever they're going to play. It's A&M first because they can go inside. Their point guard reminds me of the Penn State point guard 2 years ago in Des Moines who gave the Aggies fits, and a three-point shooter who gave the Aggies fits. That's what I find is so fascinating. The 68 teams who get here, if they can play to their identity, then that's the team that I think advances. And, Joe, to something you said, I think the team that can win that game where they're not supposed to, whoever goes 6-0, right, in this part of the year, right, is there a game that you're supposed to lose that you find a way to win? Usually ends up being the champion at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's very true, and that's the beauty, and that's why everybody loves the NCAA tournament as much as they do, because any day, again, a bad day, and you're done regardless of what seed that you are. I've got to ask you, Andrew, because Jason and I have known you for a long time. Obviously, we've worked with you. We've known some of the things that you do and what you've covered. What is it like going into the NCAA tournament, though, with a team that is good and has a legit shot?
Yeah, it's exciting, and I'm really thrilled for Buzz Williams, and I think it's important, Joe, that this is the third consecutive appearance for this team. I think that's important. I think it's important for what Buzz has built at A&M. It's not a basketball school, you know what I mean? But it is now, and I give credit to Buzz. I give credit to how this team plays. I give credit to these players who have embraced the 12th man, and they've embraced them back with the way they have played, with so many big games being played at Reed Arena, and they have risen to the occasion. It's not just Auburn. Look, they beat Auburn they beat Alabama, the number 2 team, a couple of years ago. They've taken down Tennessee on that. They have responded to those games and allowed the 12th man to embrace them. And to come here as a 4 seed is a testament to what Buzz has built. I asked him before the year, could you build a non-conference schedule if you didn't have 8 seniors coming back? And he said absolutely not. But he knows he has the experience and that trust. So it's nice to have that lower number next to your name when you go into the tournament. It's not a 7 seed. It's not a 9 seed like it was last year. You got that number 4, but you also have to play to those expectations. And I think because of the experience on this team, they can play to those expectations as they have all season long.
Well, you mentioned the 12th man. I know it's open practice, so there are some fans in the building there at Ball Arena right now. Have you noticed that have the Aggies traveled well for this first round matchup there in Denver?
Jason, my understanding was the 12th Man Foundation, which does tickets, this was one of those cities that people were excited about. They were going to be able to come to and do this. So, yeah, there's a nice contingent here. I know a lot more will be coming in tomorrow, and it's not going to be full of Aggie fans, you know what I mean? But
sure.
This is one of those. This was a nice destination for all the cities and these first and second round cities. This was one that there were some folks who were coming. They kind of circled this one and said if the Aggies come here, that they were going to come as well. So I look forward to that when this thing tips off tomorrow.
Well, let me ask you this, Andrew. Has Buzz done anything or said anything to the players, or has there been any kind of different preparation with the altitude that they're going to be in there in Denver?
He wanted to come a little sooner, Joe. He wanted to come on Monday to get acclimated with a practice on Monday as well as Tuesday and Wednesday. The problem was gas leak in the area by the airport. We could not get out on Monday and had to leave earlier on Tuesday. But they did practice yesterday. They practiced before this open practice as well to kind of adjust. It's funny, some of these players have played either at Colorado Springs or here in Denver as high school players, or if they've been with college teams, but not all of them. And for a couple of these players like Zurich Phelps and Pharrell Payne, not just playing in Denver, this is their first NCAA tournament experience. So that will play into that as well. As for Buzz, no, he just trusts the preparation for this team. As I said, that's what you get with an experienced team. You get that trust on both sides. Buzz trusts them to do their job, and I think they trust Buzz to put them in a position to succeed. So, it's not like there's not going to be a whole lot of rah-rah. I'm going to tell you this. Earlier in the year, Buzz told this team after losing to UCF, the very first game of the year, UCF stormed the court against Texas A&M, and Buzz looked the team in the eye and said, are you guys just going to ease into the schedule? Because they don't rush the court against nobodies. And I thought that was a message that was delivered. Again, back to those expectations. Again, if you try to play hero ball and get out of who you are, boy, you know what? You're an upset victim. If you play to your identity, and I know I say that a lot, then you give yourself a great chance no matter who you're playing.
And I would imagine convincing win is probably in order. One of the more interesting stats around A&M, 3-3 in games decided by 3 points or less.
Yeah, this is for the longest time, Buzz joked about the fine line is invisible. The fine line between winning and losing is invisible. And even when this team has a lead, it still becomes a 1 or 2 possession game. And even when this team, no matter who you're playing, but when you get used to that, then you don't panic. Does that make sense? Like, I think teams, like a couple of years ago, they had that 8-game losing streak where everything was a 1 or 2 possession game, and they fell on the wrong side. But then when they finally learned how to win, there was no game that was close until the final game of the NIT at Madison Square Garden. Then it became a 1-possession game against Xavier. But they were blowing out everybody in the SEC tournament and throughout the NIT. This is a team that just does not panic when it gets in those 1 and 2 possession games. Would I like the blowouts? I love blowouts. I love convincing wins. Those are the best. I joke with Buzz, my hair was dark before I started doing Aggie basketball. I've got more grays now, but that's just the way it is. And I think, again, that experience plays into it along the lines of, hey, we've been here before. We know what to do, and for the most part, they have come through in those situations. And at times, they have not. And I think they've been able to adjust. But as we talked about off the top, you know what? You better adjust in these 40 minutes, because if you don't get another 40 minutes from here on out.
I got the Aggies winning that game, Andrew, so don't let me down, okay?
Yep, no gray hair tomorrow.
I got to tell you, we're undefeated on radio. I have no idea what happens on websites and in newspapers. I don't know how they get the scores wrong, but we're undefeated on radio.
No truer words from the voice of the Aggies. Andrew Monaco, enjoy your time in Denver, my friend.
Wonderful talking with you both. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Andrew Monaco on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Of course, the road to San Antonio underway. Everybody trying to get here. One of the great events around having the Final Four in our city is the College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Championship. That will take place April 3rd at the Frost Bank Center. In honor of the Aggies, let's give a pair right now to caller number 12, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Sell your car to America's best car buyer. GiveMeTheVin.com, and you may be the one that gets an extra $25,000 in your pocket. We are giving away $25,000 to a random person that sells their car to GiveMeTheVin.com in the month of March. GiveMeTheVin.com, big cash giveaway. You can't afford not to try it.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
San Antonio, the NCAA 2025 Men's Final Four is coming April 4th through the 7th. Check out Reese's Men's Final Four Friday, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can watch open practices and the Reese's NABC All-Star Game at the Alamo Dome for free. And for the music lovers, March Madness Music Festival, presented by AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola, with 3 days of free concerts, featuring the biggest acts in music at Tower Park and Hemisphere. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you...
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
I'm rehearsing. There are so many benefits. You gotta talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line.
Additional terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Conflicting reports on the Cowboys talks with Micah Parsons. Jane Slater of the NFL Network is reporting what would be characterized as meaningful talks haven't yet begun. NFL has proposed rule changes for the upcoming season that include banning the tush push, seeding playoff teams by record and not by division winners, and more. And the Texans have got a new offensive lineman today, Cam Robinson, 1-year deal.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo
17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on a Wednesday on the radio. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. And if you're on I-10, you're probably going to be there a while.
Man.
We'll do our best to keep you entertained for the next hour. It's been closed for a couple hours, I-10 in the medical center area, a fatal accident, and it's going to be closed for a while. If you're on our 910 and you're going that way, go a different way. I'm seeing on Twitter it's backed up from near Wurzbach all the way past 1604.
That's just tragic, and sorry that happened today to somebody, but, yeah, be careful out there.
Yeah, and you're a lot of times I joke, I like it when you guys are stuck in traffic, but not for these kind of reasons.
Not like that, yeah. Yeah, I'm okay if you're stuck in traffic, if it's just traffic.
Yep.
And people being knuckleheads, but not for something like this. So be careful out there when you do that. And enjoy your hump day.
Yes, exactly.
Hump day? Yeah. No, hey, we're almost there, right? I mean, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. And we're about to slide into the weekend.
I mean, it's already here.
I'm telling you.
And in reality, let's face it. If you're listening to this show, you are an avid sports fan, which means the next couple of days, you're likely to be very unproductive at work. So maybe you take a vacation day. Just come hang out with us tomorrow at Twin Peaks, the Park North location, or Friday at 410 and 151.
Or both.
But you're not. If you're in the office, you aren't getting much done.
No.
If you're an outside salesperson, bring your clients to Twin Peaks and have lunch. Have a business meeting with us.
That's what ours are going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Our entire sales staff
exactly
is going to be busy tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. It's going to be fun.
I know a lot of people. Tomorrow morning, they'll be at the doctor's, or maybe they're there today. Get snip, so they can just sit on the couch with a bag of frozen peas on their lap for the next couple of days, because it's a big time to be able to do that.
From experience.
I do know from experience.
Yeah. Hey, look, the tournament's one of the best sporting events that there is. It's just exciting, and for all the things that we talk about the whole time, it's a one and done. You have a bad day, I don't care how touted you are, you're going to lose, and you're out. And then, all bad things are going to happen. So that's the beauty of it, though. I love that about it. I mean, you have to show up, and you have to play. I don't care who you're playing, and even including a 1 seed playing a 16 seed. So.
Although when you look at the way this bracket was set up, by design from the committee, it feels like this was set up to where the best teams have the clearest path to get to San Antonio for the Final Four. I mean, there's not the crazy matchups that we've seen before where you go, holy cow, we're getting that in the Sweet 16, or we're getting that in the second round, or you know what I mean? I mean, it's hard to look around these brackets in any of the regions and say, right there, that should be a Final Four type of matchup. Why did they put those two teams in the same region? They didn't really do that this year.
Yeah, but there are still some good matchups, though. I mean, there really are. There's some good matchups. And look, some of these number 2 seeds, I would watch out for. We've been talking about Tennessee with Andrew Monaco.
Yep.
Good team. Michigan State, good team. St. John's playing well, good team. So just look, these number 1 seeds seem like they're going to run the table, and they'll end up here in San Antonio. But I tell you what, there's some good teams out there. And, again, look, Auburn went into this tournament not playing so well.
True.
I mean, they really haven't been. Florida's playing their tails off. No pun intended. Oh, the Gators, you get it? So I mean,
yeah, they're not geckos, sir.
Yeah, it
is hump day.
They're Gators. Yeah. So I mean, look, it doesn't matter. Again, one bad day and your season's over. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't think you think all the 1 seeds are going to end up here.
Well,
I don't. Before it's all said and done.
I have made changes to my bracket. I'm likely to make changes to my bracket again before the game starts tomorrow morning.
All right.
Right now, I've eliminated Houston from coming to the tournament, and partly because I did a little research yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, because Pledge, did we get it set up on ESPN yet? So if you want to join, what is it? San Antonio Sports Star, SA Sports Star. What's the name of our group?
SA Sports Star.
Why do you have a binky in your mouth? What the hell is that?
It's a ring pop.
A what?
A ring pop.
How old are you? I literally, sorry, people. If you look at Pledge right now, it looks like he has a binky. Now, I don't know. Yeah, Pledge, come in here if you're watching on YouTube. A binky. It's a pacifier. It's what a baby would have. So I look up to ask the producer a question, and he pulls this thing out of his mouth to answer the question. Sorry, don't know when you started sucking on that thing, but it's not what I expected to see.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, it is on ESPN.
Yeah.
Search SA Sports Star.
SA Sports Star.
So we have a group where you can throw in your bracket.
I will retweet it out, and everyone will be tagged in it again.
You got to walk over here and show the people watching on YouTube what you look like with a damn binky in your mouth.
Now, well, the hell with this binky. I'm doing some business over here. So SA Sports Star, there's 2 of them. One says TMH. What does that mean?
That's
the morning huddle.
Yeah, leave that one alone. Go the one that just says SA Sports Star.
Okay, good.
So they made one on their own?
Rob says he didn't. But
so is it left over from last year?
There's nobody in there, so there you go.
All right, so go to SA Sports Star. Well, I guess you could throw a bracket in TMH and win against you, but there's no prizes for that one. So SA Sports Star is the official station, ESPN.com. Throw your bracket in there. We'll come up with some prizes at the end, some concert tickets. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, let's see if you can beat me or you. Or Pledge. I mean,
look, not everybody that beats you is going to be able to get a prize. We don't have enough prizes for that.
Dude, I've got a hell of a bracket going here.
I mean, everybody has a hell of a bracket right now.
That's
Talk
right.
to me about this time tomorrow afternoon, and we're all going to be crying.
You know, I just got into the SA Sports Star group, and I was thinking I was going to have to fill out another bracket.
No.
Well, ESPN just moved my original bracket in there.
Isn't technology amazing?
Well,
you act like you've never done this before.
Maybe I wanted to do another one.
Well, you can do another bracket, but I think we've all agreed that we just do one.
All right. Well, I'm doing one.
I did set a parameter on this one bracket.
Good.
So I've got one, but last year I had Houston winning it all. So I decided I'm not going to do that again. So I redid. So I've got Tennessee beating Houston to get here, but now I have Duke as my national champion.
Oh, please.
Let's
stick your neck out a little.
Yeah, who do you have?
Oh, my gosh.
Who do you have winning it all right now?
I have Florida.
Oh, man. Out on a limb, do you?
I'm telling you. Playing the best basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the best team. I'm telling you. And that little, what's his name, Cooper Flagg, he's all hurt.
I have Duke beating Florida in my national championship game.
Duke.
You went with Florida. Right?
I did.
Let's talk about going out on a limb.
Well, it's hard not to pick them right now, the way they're playing, right? But again, I mean,
who's all in your Final Four?
Well,
let's see the limbs you've walked out on here, Ryan Eagle.
Yeah, well, I'm going to change some of these. I got Michigan State getting beat by Florida.
Okay, so you have Michigan State knocking off Auburn to get here?
I do.
Okay.
And then Duke and Houston, but I think I'm going to change that. Just because there's too many 1 seeds, and I don't like that.
Well, see, that's when I first did my first bracket. And again, you just fill it out and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Takes less than 2 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. And I had 4 1s originally, and I knew I would change that.
Okay, so I just
of the four of the 4 1 seeds, Houston's probably least likely to get here, right? And that was kind of my justification of Tennessee knocking them off.
Who said Houston's the least likely? I think Houston's got a hell of a team.
I think they have a hell of a team, but of the 4 1 seeds, I think they are the least likely to get here. I said that.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of looking at, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, some of these will be changed a little bit. I got till tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
You do. I mean, and again, you can change it. Pledge, we're getting requests for people of you and your damn binky. to post a photo on Twitter's. Valerie Roma would like that. And the listening or the viewing audience on San Antonio Sports Star wants to see you and your binky. Why you would do this is beyond me. The fact that you're now doing that over your show. Now put it in your mouth.
Oh, my God.
So I look up, and that's what I see.
What possesses a 40-something-year-old man to buy a ring pop?
Deliciousness?
A binky. Well, there's a lot of deliciousness without looking like a baby.
I don't get it. I really don't get it sometimes.
I don't understand either. But I guess that's the beauty of Pledge, right? He's not understandable.
Well, and then the fact that, I don't know, we're in the middle of a radio show where you could be asked to speak at any moment.
Any moment.
And you've got to pull a pacifier out of your mouth to talk.
Yes, you do.
I don't get it. Plus, you got the Longhorns playing tonight. 2 games tonight. They call it part of the tournament. I do not. But there's games on tonight. You'll listen to both of them here on 94.1. And more importantly, that Texas game has a beer bet riding on it. Flight by Yingling is on the line. Ryan Eagle is going to have to stop at the store tomorrow to get my beer.
It's a 12-pack, yes. Let's just be clear before, because, all of a sudden, wow, we said a case.
You're the only one.
I'm just saying.
No.
Clear it up.
It's always been a 12-pack.
All right.
But when you lost 2 in a row, a 12 and a 12 is a case.
Okay.
So you were owed cases.
So it is
at
a
that
12-pack.
Yes.
Of Flight
It's
by
a
Yingling.
12-pack for one. But when you lose multiple and don't pay, they grow. There's interest on these things.
That'll take care of my Saturday watching NCAA tournament action.
Only 12?
Well, for Saturday.
Oh. I'm not worried about it. So you're going to have to buy yourself a 12 and buy me a 12. I know how it works.
Yep. Well, we've no, because dude, I'm sorry, and I like Texas, but they're not going to win tonight. It's over for them.
Over for them.
The highlight of their season was beating the Aggies the other day. That was it. Other than that, they're done.
Yeah, we'll see. It's the beauty of it.
Said
the same thing about North Carolina. Didn't even belong in the damn thing.
Well,
and they destroyed last night.
Think about that.
Here we go.
It just goes to show you that there's some crappy teams in the tournament.
Is that what it is?
Well, yeah. So why don't we just go back the way it has always been and has worked beautifully and just have 64 teams? What do we need this circus sideshow that they call the first 4? I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, you know the answer to that, right?
Well, money, of course.
Yeah. You're going to see a lot of commercials tonight.
Ridiculousness.
Is there?
Just go back to 64. Because even by the chance, the remote chance that Texas wins tonight, they ain't going nowhere.
No, they're going to lose to Illinois.
Exactly.
But they will win tonight.
No.
I will make room in my beer fridge when I get home.
Yeah, you do that. You do that. 8 o'clock tip or thereabouts, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait.
Micah Parsons, is he close to a deal? What does meaningful conversations mean when you're talking about $200 million? Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you are having any issues at the house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quarterman Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. That $58.99, that's an important number to remember right now because that is the cost of a pre-summer AC inspection from Quartermoon. They don't often do specials, but they are right now. $58.99. They'll come out to your place and do a capacitor inspection, indoor coil inspection, outdoor coil inspection, filter inspection, check all the proper temperature levels, make sure your AC is ready to go for the hot summer months that you know are upon us. Now, if you got some issues with your plumbing, again, call Quartermoon. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
The most exciting weekend in college basketball starts here. Don't miss the 2025 State Farm College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Championships. Witness the nation's top dunkers and sharpshooters battle it out live in person. One epic night of unbelievable skill and electrifying energy. Thursday, April 3rd at the Frost Bank Center. Tickets are going fast. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. See you April 3rd for the State Farm College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Championships. The most exciting weekend in college basketball starts here. One night, pure action. Don't miss it.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with exclusive member-only deals. Right now, save $30 on a Little Giant Extra Light Plus 5-foot aluminum stepladder. Was $109, now just $79. Plus, save an additional $20 on the Metabo HPT pneumatic finish nailer. Don't miss out on these limited time deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 3/17 through 3/19. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textblind.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelty. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelty can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelty?
Just send them a text.
Text TRUST to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text TRUST to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text TRUST to 200-300. That's TRUST to 200-300. TRUST to 200-300.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Rock's Discount Vitamins thanks God and San Antonio for all the support. The time is here, San Antonio. Mark your calendars. 1 day, 2 locations, Saturday, March 22nd. Stop by Rock's Discount Vitamins for the Spring Break Bash. Special guest C.T. Fletcher will be at the Culebra location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then head to the Petranco location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, get 20% off the entire store all day. That's Saturday, March 22nd. Rock's Spring Break Bash. Follow Rock's on Instagram at Rock's Discount or call 210-342-ROCK.
Guys, let's talk skincare. Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa is here to help. Upgrade your face with a peaches and cream facial. Just $105 this month. You'll glow, your girl will notice. Call 210-494-8446 or visit findyourbeautiful.com.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 90.
Player.
And I tell you what, it's going fast, and it always does when we get to this time, less than a month away, and we get an update just about every day. And It's going fast. So if you're thinking about getting in, I would do it. I wouldn't wait.
You know, as we think about what the Cowboys are going to do, because they like to wait, Jeremy Fowler from ESPN is suggesting, reporting maybe, because he said this on NFL Live, so it was this conversation or reporting, but Fowler's more a reporter type, that Joe Milton is somebody to keep in mind on the backup quarterback carousel. Apparently, the Patriots are getting trade interest. One team to potentially watch for is the Cowboys because they are looking for a good backup, a young backup with upside they might not get in the draft. Maybe they get it in a trade. So I don't know if that's Jeremy speculating or reporting, but I think of Joe Milton. I think about that 80-yard touchdown run he had against the UTSA Roadrunners when he was at Tennessee. I mean, funny. Honestly, that's right. I mean, that's what I remember about that dude.
Now,
you're a dumb butt.
Yeah, but that's what I think of.
I wonder what the Patriots are going to want for a guy like that, though. I mean, honestly, is that going to be something that Jerry's going to balk at because it's too much?
Well, I mean, he was a 6th-round pick, so
right.
I mean, I'm sure Jerry will give up a 4th.
I'm sure he will if he had one,
or maybe even a 3rd. I have no idea. I would think a late-round pick. Why would unless the Patriots are looking to just collect another pick? Who else do they have on their roster for backups? I mean, Milton wasn't a bad college quarterback, but he wasn't a great college quarterback. And the fact is he wasn't Hendon Hooker, which is what everybody wanted or thought about when you thought about Tennessee. He was at Michigan for a couple of years because I remember, didn't he used to battle with Shea Patterson for time there?
Yeah.
Honestly, I just remember Joe Milton in that long run against UTSA on, what was that, the first play of the game, right? Wasn't it like play one, dude, 80 yards, touchdown?
Somebody like Milton, though, makes sense with the situation the Cowboys are in at quarterback. Or somebody like him, just simply because you don't want to start thinking about your next quarterback. I mean, you got Dak Prescott for the next 4 years. So a guy like Milton or somebody like him, but is he a guy you're going to trust to, I don't know, come in if Dak gets hurt? Yeah, I guess obviously if Dak gets hurt, you're screwed anyway, so the hell with it.
So apparently the Patriots have Josh Dobbs as the backup to Drake May. So Milton is an emergency quarterback, or can they turn him into a draft pick? I just Googled him. In 2023 as the Tennessee starter, he went 8-4, threw for 2,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 292 yards rushing, but I think all of those were against UTSA. I'd have to go back and look. And, then he was backing up Hendon Hooker. So, at Michigan, he had 1 year where he started 5 games, went 2-3, sat on the bench for 2 years at Michigan. And part of me says, all right, well, Harbaugh liked him. So he was there, but then he transferred to Tennessee, and he had 1 year as a starter.
Well, there's a reason the Patriots brought in Josh Dobbs, right? I mean, a proven veteran quarterback to back up May. So I don't know. To me, that's not the answer for the Cowboys. I mean, if you're talking about needing a backup, a quality backup that can buy you 2, 3, 4 games, I don't know, man.
As I'm reading about Milton, I've got to be corrected. It was an 81-yard touchdown run against UTSA. 45-14 win. First offensive drive. Longest rushing play by a quarterback in program history.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Jeff Traylor may have some nice things to say about him then.
You're a dumb butt.
I mean, when I think of Milton, that's what I thought of. I look at if there's any truth to this, because the Cowboys do have a boatload of late-round picks, and they're not going to use them all. Do they think Milton would be better than whatever quarterback they might be thinking of late in the draft? And that would also tell me, with some of the other quarterbacks that we've heard linked that the Cowboys have interest in the draft, like a Quinn Ewers or a Dylan Gabriel, do they think those guys might be gone before the Cowboys are ready to take a quarterback, because my head might explode if they take a quarterback in the first 3 rounds and they don't have a 4th-round pick.
Well, that would be kind of dumb, right?
It would be. That's why,
it's not your future quarterback. I think the Cowboys need to go find somebody that's already in the league. I mean, and not a Joe Milton, because I don't know how much. I mean, the guy, obviously, the Patriots are willing to part with him. And so I just don't know if he's the answer. If you need a backup, and look, at this point in time in Dak's career and his injury history, you have to plan for that. Joshua Dobbs would have been somebody that would have been outstanding. New England went out and got him. There's got to be somebody like that out there that the Cowboys can bring in for a cheap price and serve as backup to Dak Prescott.
Well, and I do think one of the reasons why the Patriots are willing to part ways with him is not because they don't like him or they don't think he's very good, but they had a couple of young quarterbacks that they've drafted, and Drake May is their guy.
Sure.
And they would rather have a veteran backup quarterback than a young quarterback, because
Wouldn't you?
So you've got that, but that's what makes him expendable. Not that they don't think he has talent, but he's not their guy. So they can, trade him away, get something for it, and go find another 3rd quarterback. But, he was a 6th-round pick. So if they can get that 6th back or a 5th, because the Cowboys have 1,000 of those, there's something there, but he's not their future. So what can they get for him? Because they're hooking their wagon to Drake May, and then you want that veteran guy in the room to help with the studying and help with the game planning and to help with teaching other young quarterbacks how they're doing things. So I just look at that. It's not that he sucks and they want to get rid of him, is they have their young guy moving forward, and it ain't Joe Milton. So,
I don't know if he sucks or not. I mean, we haven't seen him in the NFL.
No.
So I don't know if he sucks or not. I'm not saying that. It just, to me, it just, if that's what you're going with as your backup quarterback, with a quarterback who has missed some time lately, I think you're rolling the dice there big time. I mean, again, we talked about this, Jason, when Cooper Rush signed with Baltimore. I mean, what a huge loss that was for the Cowboys, because you had a guy that you could depend on. Now you're out looking for somebody, and you just don't know. And it's because Jerry just doesn't want to pay some of these people, and I'm not sure why. I mean, honestly, you talk about rewarding a guy. Cooper Rush would have been that perfect guy to reward. And if you're looking at a 2-year deal, what he's $6 million?
Yep.
I mean, that just doesn't seem like smart business to me. And I think that was a bigger loss than anything else they've lost this season, was Cooper Rush.
Now, I don't remember this game at all. I'm reading about it. January 5th of this year, Milton made his professional debut in the season finale against the Buffalo Bills, relieving May, who departed after the opening drive. Now, again, meaningless game at the end of the year, but he was 22 of 29 for 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, as the Patriots beat the Bills 23-16. Knocked them out of contention for the first overall pick. He also had 10 carries in the game for 16 yards, did lose a fumble. No sacks in the game. So in his one game, he completed 75% of his passes.
That's great. You go with that.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, whether he was ready to play or expecting to play, or it seems like it was a meaningless game. I don't remember him being in that game or going, oh man, what did that? But his one NFL game, he did throw the ball well.
A lot of quarterbacks have looked good in preseason games.
This was a regular season game?
Yeah, but it was meaningless.
Well,
and so how many Buffalo Bills starters played in that game? Exactly.
Don't let facts get in the way
Dude,
of a
I'm
good
just
argument
telling you
there.
that to me would be a major mistake for the Cowboys to bring this guy in and counting on him to be your backup quarterback.
Would you rather have a guy that's had a year in New England or a rookie as your primary backup quarterback?
I would rather have neither. I would rather Pledge is putting a list of names on the board right now of remaining free agent quarterbacks. And, I mean, there are some names up there that I wouldn't want to be my starter, but certainly it would be names that I would rather have. I mean, a Case Keenum, a Jameis Winston. Now, I don't know what they would cost, but I'd much rather have a guy like that backing up Dak Prescott than Joe Milton.
I believe Taylor Heineke signed with the Chargers pledge. You might be looking at something outdated. Carson Wentz is listed there. C.J. Beathard is listed there. Joe Flacco, although he's probably going to sign somewhere and who knows, maybe start. So, I mean, there's not a lot of there, but also those veteran guys and their minimums might be more than what the Cowboys want to play.
Well, obviously.
I'm not saying that's the way I would do things. I'm just dealing with this is what the Cowboys have told us they're doing. Quite
frankly, I'd rather go with Will Grier than I would to trade anything away to New England for a guy that played one meaningless game in his NFL career.
Yeah, but he's got all that college experience.
I'd rather go with Will Grier. I'll be honest with you. I mean, if that's what they're going to do, they've already got a guy there. And what do you need a third quarterback? Maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know, but I'd rather go with Will Grier.
Although they've had Will, they've let him go,
yep.
they've brought him back. So do they like him? Do they not like him? I don't know that I'd be mad if they, depending on what the pick is, if it's a 6th-round pick, as long as they don't go with another 4th-round pick. But that's what Jerry always likes to do, is a 4th-round pick. And we also know how this seems to work. You throw the Cowboys into the mix of teams interested in making a trade for this guy, and now he becomes more valuable.
There you go. That is true.
Who knows? What about Micah Parsons? Let's talk about where his contract status is when you talk about meaningless talks or not meaningful talks yet. We'll try to define what that means coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Now, what is meaningful information is what we're about to tell you about Dr. Connie Heyer's Plastic Surgery and Med Spa, because, summer's right around the corner. You're going to be at a pool. You're going to be at the beach. You're going to be at the lake. You're going to be somewhere with your shirt off, and you've got the dad bod. Want to fix that? Call Dr. Connie Heyer's and go do what Joe and I did, M-Sculpt Neo, which is a non-invasive muscle-building, fat-burning procedure, no downtime. The results are like doing 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. The reality is I took a nap.
And it actually feels pretty good. It really does. It feels good, and you lay there. It's got heat with it that burns the fat and then the crunches as well, and it works, and it continues to work even when you stop with the procedure. So, look, check it out because it is well worth it. I know Minix and I both have seen a difference. Our wives have seen a difference, and you can see a difference as well. And, again, it is springtime. Summer is just right around the corner.
Now, both Joe and I did it on our bellies. You can do it on your arms, your legs, your butt, whatever you're looking for. You can do it. She can do it. The lady in your life. And there's so many other things there for the lady in your life, and you will get a great thank you. The Mommy Makeover, $2,000 off this month. Tummy Tuck, $1,000 off. There's an incredible special on lipo as well. Just make sure you mention the Blitz when you call Dr. Connie Heyer's Plastic Surgery and Med Spa.
You can call her at 210-494-8446 or findyourbeautiful.com.
Listen all this week to The Blitz to win tickets to see the Counting Crows at the SB. Saturday, August the 2nd, the Counting Crows, the complete suite store, comes to the SB. Tickets are on sale now. Go to thesb.com. Win tickets to the Counting Crows with special guests, the Gaslight Anthem from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Imagine waking up in the morning to ocean views on Matagorda Bay. I know that you can. Minutes from world-class fishing. Check out the grand opening of Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. Don't miss this one-day event, Saturday, March 29th, where you can get 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access for just $49.9. That is correct, just $49.9. John Lopez here, and I host the Texas Saltwater Fishing Podcast, Bite Me. If you love the Texas coast like I do, you're going to love this gated community. With a resort-style pool and cabana, boat slips and launch, boat and RV storage, paved roads, on and on it goes, underground utilities, and so much more. It all happens Saturday, March 29th, so call for your private tour, 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Ask about the grand opening day specials and the helicopter tours. Call now, 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
The Easter Bunny? He's lost his dazzle. His tail? Flatter than a pancake.
Yeah, no more poof, see?
And those eggs? They're supposed to be spiffy, colorful, full of magic, but the trap, streaky, like they've been kissed by dust bunnies.
And when the cabbage wish shelling out for eggs, they ought to be the cat's pajamas. But nope, everything's on the fritz, and we know why.
Hard water.
Nasty buildup, filmy gunk. It's giving the whole shebang the heebie-jeebies.
It needs a Connecticut. Their non-electric, high-efficiency water softness make water the bee's knees. Your skin, smoother than a gangster's alibi. And eggs?
Gleaming like gold in a G-Man's pocket.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off for trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE. That's 210-656-PURE.
It's a limited time, so hop to it, see?
License number 38961.
Your car gets waxed, your shoes get polished, so why is your face looking dull? Time to upgrade with Zoe Vitamin C, 15% off this month. Because looking rugged shouldn't mean looking like an old leather couch. Stop by Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa or visit findyourbeautiful.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. And it's all about having a great time. Grab your buddies and ladies too. Hit the course for a fun, laid-back day of golf, laughs, and a little friendly competition at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, April 14th. It's just $120 a player or $400 for a foursome. A solid deal for a day of good times with your crew. The Spring Golf Classic benefits the Pan American Golf Association. But don't worry, this isn't some high-stakes tournament. It's all about kicking back, having fun, and making memories. Presented by Flight by England and sponsored by Ancira.com and PBL Motorhomes. After you've crushed it on the course, join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Cold drinks, great food, and good times with all of your buddies. So grab your spot, grab your crew, and tee off for a day of unforgettable fun. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
They're pledging they're doing a little karate or something. I don't know what he was doing.
It's hard to take anybody serious making moves like that with a pacifier in their mouth.
Yeah.
I'm Jason Minix. He's Joe Reinagel.
No pacifiers for us.
None. Although sometimes people probably want give us one.
Probably so. Yeah, big babies.
Oh, man. Talking about backup quarterbacks, a lot of people have thoughts on what the Cowboys should do. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Kingsley, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? What's going on, gentlemen?
Nothing, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, brother. Listen, I don't know if this was popular decision or choice, but for me, it passes the eye and the sniff test. I like how he's 6'3", 6'4", 220. He's under the radar. We can get him in the third, fourth, or fifth rounds. Let's go with Kyle McCord, the Syracuse quarterback. He's known for his accuracy. Recruited a five-star recruit as a junior with Ohio State. Ended up at Syracuse. I think he was like 9th or 10th on the Heisman voting.
Now, hang on a second. Now, first off, third, fourth, or fifth round. Yeah, all right. I mean, that's a wide gap in there. The Cowboys don't need to take a quarterback in the first 3 rounds. They have too many other needs that require somebody that can come in and make an immediate impact. So you're not going to draft your backup quarterback there. But don't tell me that Kyle could go in the third and at the same time could go in the fifth.
I'm saying if he's available. I don't think no one's going to pick him. He's under the radar. But
I don't know. I don't know that Kyle McCord is under the radar.
I don't know why the Cowboys draft a quarterback anyway. Period.
Well, I mean, because they need a backup at this point.
Well, they can get a backup, but you draft a guy to hopefully be your future. Your future's in Dallas for the next 4 years. I mean, drafting a quarterback at this point in time, by the time Dak leaves, this guy will no longer be on a rookie deal.
True. No, and that's true. Although, at what point can they might start thinking about getting out of that Dak deal if their quarterback is developing the way they want? I mean, you look at a guy, Quinn Ewers and Dillon Gabriel are the ones that have been talked about most when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. And you think about Quinn, at one point, everybody thought that was going to be a first-round guy. And even though he's led the Longhorns to the playoffs in back-to-back years, his draft stock has fallen. You look at a guy like Dillon Gabriel, guy has awful measurables. But you watch him on tape and you go, all right, well, there's obviously something there. McCord got run out of Columbus, but redeemed himself nicely while at Syracuse. But I don't know that he's a third-round guy. I mean, you look at a guy like Riley Leonard. When you start looking at, the quarterbacks that are kind of towards the end of the list, which Dallas might be looking there if they're looking for a quarterback, say, in the 5th round, 6th round, to come in and be QB2. I don't know. Anybody on any of the rankings that you see after Riley Leonard, I don't think the Cowboys would look at, which is why I think maybe drafting or making a trade like what is being suggested by ESPN with New England or somebody along those lines, if they're looking at the trade route, maybe the Cowboys are thinking the quarterbacks that they like, they would have to take earlier than they want to take a quarterback. So the best way to get their backup quarterback is through a trade.
If they can find somebody late that they like, okay, fine. But if you do that, that's not a number 2 quarterback. You're still stuck with a reliable backup for Dak Prescott. And at this point in time, you just don't have that. You got Will Grier, who I wouldn't have a lot of hope for. And if you go out and get a Joe Milton III, he's going to be your backup, your number 2. I mean, they've got a problem here that they need to solve. And I'm not sure you solve that by trading a 6th-round pick to New England for Joe Milton or drafting a guy in the 4th or 5th or 6th round. It's going to be tough for them. They've got to find somebody because you got to figure Dak is not going to go 17 games. And you need somebody, if you're still in the chase, that can at least right the ship for a couple of 2 or 3 games.
No argument there. The problem is they didn't want to pay for Cooper Rush. They let him walk. So to find their backup quarterback, and seems to be no urgency to bring back a Trey Lance. No. Trey Lance might be looking for a little bit more money. Maybe Trey Lance is looking for an opportunity to where he could go in and maybe compete for a starting job. So depending on what Aaron Rodgers does and where all those dominoes fall, maybe that does open the door for Trey Lance to go somewhere where he can at least compete for the starting job. But right now, doesn't appear that he's on his way back to Dallas. So reading tea leaves, Cowboys are either going to make a trade for some backup quarterback, but they're not going to pay some of these high-priced free agents because they didn't want to pay the veteran minimum or just over that for Cooper Rush, so I don't think they're going to do that for somebody else. They want to draft a quarterback and kick the tires, then I could see them doing that, but just not in the first 3 rounds because they need immediate help.
And then you just pray that nothing happens to Dak Prescott, because if it does, you're screwed. I mean, you just are. If you're talking about that, if a late round pick, you're screwed. So you just pray and wrap Dak up in bubble wrap and hope that nothing happens to him, because the Cowboys right now put themselves in a bind when it comes to backup quarterback. Jerry makes me scratch my head with a lot of things that he does, especially with the big contract he gave Dak Prescott, but we'll leave that alone. But to let Cooper Rush walk for what is basically $4.5 million, it just baffles me.
Me too, because game-ready, proven backup quarterback. Unless the thought process is, if Dak gets hurt, we don't have a chance anyway. I'm not spending more money in the quarterback room. There was a time when Romo was always hurt, and they spent a lot of money on backup quarterbacks. Remember all that money they gave like Kyle Orton and some of those guys, and that didn't pay out. So I could see where Jerry is saying, well, my experience says paying a lot of money for a backup quarterback doesn't really mean anything, so he's not going to do it. But I can't imagine drafting a Will Rodgers or a Hudson Card, and that's going to be QB2, right? But then we're also talking about the Cowboys, right? I wonder what we'll hear about what they thought of Milton, if it is Milton, coming out of the draft. Was he somebody that they were looking at? We seem to hear that a lot when the Cowboys acquire players that went somewhere else. Man, we loved him in the draft. You know, we were looking at getting him, but, you know, when, you know, we were following our board and when we thought it was the time, there was somebody else there or he went right before. We always hear those stories. So maybe there is something to this reporting. There was some interest there, but the Cowboys weren't taking a quarterback. And I like I said, between Michigan and Tennessee, when I think about available quarterbacks, when I think the Cowboys can draft versus Milton, I almost kind of like the idea of going with a guy that's been in an NFL system for a year.
Well, and maybe he's improved, but you look at his scouting combine report, and there's a lot of negatives there, a lot of negatives.
Hey, Gabe, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys, what's up? So I was going to say, so I think Milton has, if he has to go in, he's got a strong arm. I've seen him throw a Hail Mary pass one time, and he can do it. But anyways, he's not going to have to play because Dak Prescott is going to play all 17 games. That's what he gets paid $60 million a year to do. He's going to get healthy. He's going to stay healthy. And we are, I'm going to say it again, win the NFC East.
Gabe, are you drunk or what? I'm just asking.
I'm an idiot.
Are you drunk or doing drugs or what's going on with you?
I'm telling you, man, nobody gives the Cowboys any credit. Nobody thought Washington or was going to do anything last year, and they damn near went to the Super Bowl, right? So I think as much emphasis as we're putting on just trying to get back to where we're trying to get, new coach, Dak Prescott healthy, I believe the blue guys. You guys know that.
Oh, I mean, sure.
Give me a Dak Prescott. Here we go. Because here comes Cowboy fans already. Here we go. Cowboy fans and their optimism.
It's a little early. We generally, by rule, Gabe, have to wait until after the draft and you're getting ready for training camp. This is a July, late July, early August kind of call. But I think you're smoking something if you're thinking Dak Prescott is going to play all 17 games and be completely healthy.
It's a pipe dream.
Yeah, yes, it is, Gabe.
I know with this call there is a pipe involved somewhere.
Yes.
That is for sure. I mean,
enjoy that high, Gabe.
I mean, all right, let's see. Just from 2020, he played 5 games. Did play 16 games in 21. Then 12, 17, and 8. So to Gabe's point, it's not like Dak is always hurt. Year before last, he played all 17. Last year, obviously, he missed half the season. But at this point, I'm with you, Joe. He ain't going to be healthy all 17 games.
I mean, I would say that about any quarterback, honestly. Not just Dak Prescott. The chances of any quarterback lasting all 17 games in this league these days is pretty slim. I mean, let's face it. There are guys that do it, obviously, and Dak being one of them in 23. But you've got to have a reliable backup that can come in and just keep the boat afloat for hopefully a game or two or three, and move from there. So that's why it's really baffling that Cooper Rush is no longer a Dallas Cowboy.
And what the Cowboys will end up doing is going to be something more to watch, just like these Micah Parsons conversations. Meaningful, not meaningful. Reports last night, depending on what you were reading, it felt like they were close to a 5-year deal, and then not even close. They're talking, but those talks aren't meaningful, whatever the hell that means. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First four in Texas Longhorns, they're playing tonight. Spurs are playing tonight. Watching basketball, you want to make things more exciting, especially for March college basketball. You want to do that with Underdog. Nothing beats March basketball. Bring the fun of a bracket to every game day by making entries on Underdog, one of the leading sports apps, and you can play in Texas, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money. You can with Underdog. Love playing the pick'em game where you choose higher or lower on stats, points, assists, rebounds, that sort of thing. Create your favorite leagues, teams. You choose creating your entry. And again, you can play with as little as $1. So download the Underdog app. Sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus credits instantly upon your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Void where prohibited. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Get ready to play in the street. Ciclovia returns to the Broadway route on Sunday, March 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This YMCA of Greater San Antonio community fitness event takes over the streets for cycling, walking, and safe, healthy fun. Visit ciclovia.org for more details.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
All right, guys, summer is coming. You could hit the gym, but you're probably going to say, I'll start next Monday. Here's what you need to do. You need to get M-Sculpt Neo from Dr. Connie Hires. It burns fat, builds muscle, and tightens up your abs, your arms, even your butt and your legs. And guess what? She can do it, too. Couples who sculpt together, well, call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com. FindYourBeautiful.com, because Dad Bod season is officially over, and Dr. Connie Hires is here to help you get ready for summer.
Looking for a place where strangers become friends over great drinks and food? Welcome to The Hangar, Petrenko, your go-to spot for mouthwatering wings, ice-cold cocktails, and an unforgettable atmosphere. Come taste some of the best wings in town, served by their friendly staff with even friendlier cocktails. With 20 big screen TVs for all your sports needs and a gorgeous patio to enjoy the great weather, The Hangar Petrenko has got you covered. Don't Don't miss the official after party for the San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Tournament Monday, April 14th, only at Hangar Petrenko, where great food, drinks, and friends come together.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames, because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster, which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Houston Texans have a new offensive lineman today. His name is Cam Robinson. It's a one-year deal worth up to $14.5 million. San Antonio Spurs back in action tonight. They welcome in the New York Knicks into the Frost Bank Center. Tip-off there set for 7 o'clock. NCAA tournament tonight. The first 4 continues. American takes on Mount St. Mary's and Texas and Xavier. You can hear it all right here on 94.1.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. It's a Wednesday. It's game day. Longhorns playing tonight.
They are against Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier, the Musketeers?
Sure.
Yeah.
The Xavier Reinagel's going to buy Minix beers.
The Xaviers, who are a 3-point favorite, by the way. Just saying.
All right.
3-point favorite.
You going to give me the points?
No. No. It was for a win.
Yep.
Although I'll probably have some money where my mouth is as well.
I would imagine. You had that yesterday with North Carolina.
I did. Hey.
So now you're chasing.
But no, I'm not chasing.
Yeah.
I was way ahead. Because I took the Lakers the other night to beat the Spurs by 13.5, and they did.
Yep.
Some of these teams in the NBA, in all honesty, when you're looking at teams like the Spurs, the Pelicans, the Utah Jazz, you can find some decent. They're not trying to win, so it's just a matter of how hard are they going to play that particular night, and will the favorite team cover the spread?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time of year to be gambling in the NBA.
Is there a bad time?
Well, sure, there could be. I'm just saying I think it's a little easier now. And I hope, what's his name from Plano doesn't catch me doing this. You think he can get mad and spank my hiney?
Sheehan,
yeah.
Whatever his name was.
Which finds it, I just find it so odd that I can get on my little phone right here and I can go and place a bet right now. Right now.
Breaking the law.
But,
breaking the law.
And you know what? I'm not even going to go home and beat my wife.
No. Although, he thinks there might be a greater chance of that happening
I
because
guess.
you just made a bet.
Just made a bet. Maybe it's if I lose the bet, he's afraid I'm going to beat the wife. Although I'm afraid my wife might kick my ass. So I don't know. That's the chance that I'm not willing to take.
Mm-hmm. She would kick your ass.
Yes, she would.
There's not a chance.
Yeah, I have to agree with you
She could
there.
hurt you in many, many ways.
Yes, she could. That guy, such a donkey. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy, but he was a donkey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
According to the San Antonio Police Department, I-10 is now open. It was closed for many hours earlier this afternoon after a fatal accident, but just saw an update from the police department that the highway is now open.
Well, that's good news for the drivers out there. Sorry for the family of whomever that was that they lost today. That's sad.
The Micah Parsons story started to get very interesting last night because there were all kinds of tweets, posts that they were close. The Cowboys and Micah Parsons. 5 years, $200 million. Micah's brother was commenting on that. But the more reputable Cowboy beat reporters, like a Jane Slater, like a Clarence Hill, said, not so fast. Nothing imminent. The term that I heard used a lot, and I don't really get this. Meaningful conversations haven't started yet. Conversations have. There is communication, but nothing meaningful.
What are they talking about? The weather? I don't know, a chili recipe? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's
Sloppy
I don't
Joes.
Know. It could be Sloppy Joes. Maybe a brisket recipe. Maybe Jerry's going to have a brisket made this weekend. He wanted to invite Micah over to sample. You never know. That's non-meaningful? Look, I just don't get it. And I guess they could be talking about a variety of things, but if they're not meaningful conversations, what the hell are they?
Well, I mean, my thought, if they're talking, that's meaningful. If they are, I mean, let's go back and kind of, and anytime you see stuff like this, there's stuff that comes out from the other side, right?
Right.
Negatives.
Right. Sure.
The Cowboys really want him to be at all the voluntary workouts. Even though they're voluntary, they want him there. Can they put some bonuses or clauses in his contract to make sure he's there? As a team leader, he needs to be there. Maybe Jerry was setting expectation for, dude, you're going to be a captain. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And I'm going to give you all this money. This is what I expect in return for the overall good of the team. Maybe it's, maybe I'm going to have something for you every Tuesday afternoon so you can't do your podcast anymore. I mean, who knows?
Right.
Could they haven't gotten meaningful yet because they're laying down some groundwork. Maybe Micah's in there saying, you know what, I need a bigger suite for my family. I need 3 parking spaces instead of 2. Who the hell knows what he's asking for?
Those are meaningful conversations, though.
I mean, sure. When is the money going to hit my bank account? You look at David Mulligetta and you look at that Stingley contract he just did in Houston, which doesn't look like most deals that Mulligetta negotiates.
Right.
Stingley has 2 years left on his deal. The new 3-year deal kicks in after that. So it's really for 5 years, but the new money doesn't kick in for 2 years. Micah has 1 year left on his deal. Going back to what we heard last night, 5 years, $200 million. Could the new money kick in after next year? So he plays out his 5th-year rookie year, and then the new contract is already there. All right. So it's really a 5-year deal. Or does Micah want the final year ripped up because he wants to make his 40 now? Because let's face it, if he waits and that new deal kicks in a year from now, $40 million might not be the highest annual salary anymore. Somebody might top that. See, right now, Jamar Chase has that. So Micah needs about 41 to say he has that, but would that still be the highest if it doesn't kick in for another year?
I don't know. If I'm Micah Parsons and Mulligetta, I'm more worried about the guaranteed money. Then I don't really care what happens this year. I'll play for $25 million this year and let it kick in as long as that money's guaranteed in case something happens and I get hurt this year. And I'm okay with that. As long as that money's guaranteed, to me, that's the more important number. If I'm Micah Parsons, and that is the contract basically, right? The guaranteed money. So I'm more interested in that. And if I'm negotiating anything, Micah could turn into a Josh Allen. $5 million. Who's going to see that? But the guaranteed money is huge. That's what I would rather do.
I mean, if we could sit here on a radio show and put together the basic parameters of the deal pretty quickly, right? Because with Micah, we know with Jamar Chase setting the bar for non-quarterback money, right?
Right.
We know it's going to be more than what Jamar Chase has. So $41 million a year, 4-year extension. How much is guaranteed? We'll figure that out. If we're using the $25 million here on the fifth year, so 41 times 4, all right, add 25, you're close to 200. So they could find that. How much is guaranteed and when does it hit the bank account? Is it due at signing or are they structuring when it gets deposited? It doesn't seem hard to figure out Micah Parsons' contract at this point now that Jamar Chase's deal is done. Seems like it'd be pretty easy. Now, how much is guaranteed, fully guaranteed, injury guarantees? That's all the stuff they have to work out. Or could it be a fifth year that is guaranteed that Micah Parsons is looking for?
All kinds of stuff they could be talking about, but it seems to me that, unless one of them's setting a hard line and said, no, I don't want that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sign a 5-year deal or a 4-year deal. Has to be 3. Or, that's the only thing I can think of because you're right. Jamar Chase has set the standard. So Micah just needs to get a little bit over that, and he's golden.
And put in some bonuses for showing up.
Maybe that's what Jerry's trying to do.
We'll
get you to $41 million, Micah, but there's a couple of incentives here you have to reach.
Well, and again, if you put in $1 million bonus, or I know the Cowboys have done salary de-escalators before instead of bonuses, because that's the bonuses and how they affect the cap, and then they put the percentages on likely to hit, likely not, and how that affects the cap. The Cowboys can structure this in a lot of ways. But Mulligetta doing that deal with Stingley the way he did, and listening to Stingley's conversation today, his press conference, Mulligetta did what the player wanted.
There you go.
And Micah has said many times he wants to get a deal done. He doesn't necessarily have to be the highest paid. I'm surprised Mulligetta, knowing his reputation as a stern negotiator and short deals, that Stingley's deal is really 5 years. Not, let's rip all that up and it's 3 years and they're all New Year's. It's really a 5-year deal. So this final year for Micah is in play, knowing that Jerry normally wants longer deals. So it's how do they approach the 5th-year deal? Do they rip that part up and start a new contract immediately? Is that 5 years at $200 million, or is it the rookie deal and a 4-year extension that's signed on top of that?
Wow, yeah. Look, a lot of things to talk about. But if you're Micah Parsons, to me, all it is about the guarantee. I'll play on the $25 million this year. I have no problem with that. I'll play on that as long as the guaranteed money, and just in case something happens to me this year, I know I've got X guaranteed, and I can move forward with that. So to me, it wouldn't be a big deal as long as that guaranteed money is satisfactory to Micah Parsons. So a lot to work out, obviously. But if they are talking, it would be nice, Jerry, to get this thing done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, again, like you just said, because if something happens to him, he wants to know those guarantees are there, which is why Micah is not showing up for anything this year until he has a new deal. And with a new defensive coordinator and a new head coach, I can't imagine Jerry wants to go through that again like he did last year with CD, because we saw how it affected CD Lamb. And with the new staff, especially on the defensive side, you would think it's even more important to make sure he's in, happy, and doing everything he can. And maybe that $25 million salary next year, how much of that can they convert to a bonus so it hits his account today?
Oh, there you go. They could do that too. And hey, Jerry, I got an idea.
Uh-oh.
The NCAA tournament starts tomorrow. You, sir, could steal all the attention away from college basketball. Just saying.
Is that Jerry's MO?
Throwing it out there.
I don't know. I look at any conversations they're having, as Mike Leslie from WFA reported last night, Jerry had Micah come to the Star yesterday for a meeting. And then you hear it wasn't meaningful. I don't know what that means.
Well, it may have been meaningful. He may have been talking to him about a brand new Connecticut quality water softener.
Maybe they need to throw one of those in.
It could very well be. If I'm Micah Parsons, I'm demanding that in my negotiations. I guarantee you I am, because it is the most popular water softener on the market, and it is absolutely a game changer. There's no question about that. Look, I was a skeptic. I will be totally honest with you. I thought there's no way this thing is going to be any better than anything else I've ever had. Man, was I dead wrong. This thing is, it's a game changer. It does things better than anything I've ever had. I get out of the shower feeling cleaner. Clothes I put on smell better. They feel better. The dishes come out of the dishwasher. And I know all along that I'm protecting the pipes in my house because there's no hard water, thanks to the great folks at Connecticut. I do love the fact that you don't plug this thing in. It does not run on electricity. It runs on that kinetic energy, but it does provide soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It works when you need it to work. That is for sure. And for a limited time, the fine folks at Connecticut are sweetening the deal tremendously. If you buy a Connecticut quality water softener now, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, and they will install it right there at your kitchen sink. That is an incredible thing. $400 off a trade-in of your old water softener they're going to give you. And how about this free money? 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. It is one heck of a deal, and you know a deal like that's not going to last long. So call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. The number to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is heading to Vegas, and you're coming with us. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas for Mega March, March 27th through the 30th. Catch baseball's opening day and all the hoops action at the world's largest sports book. Then take the party to Stadium Swing with 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. Book now at CircaLasVegas.com with promo code BLITZ and join us at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, sun, spirits, and a sure bet for an unforgettable time.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
It's Truck Month at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on 2025 Silverado 1500s and $10,000 off MSRP on Silverado heavy duties. Buy a new 2025 Equinox posted at $24,999 or $40,999 for a new Traverse. Plus 2 years of no-charge oil changes and car washes. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself anymore, testosterone therapy or TRT may be
be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment with the TRT experts at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. With over a decade of TRT experience, book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
Rock's Discount Vitamins thanks God in San Antonio for all the support. The time is here, San Antonio. Mark your calendars. 1 day, 2 locations, Saturday, March 22nd. Stop by Rock's Discount Vitamins for the Spring Break Bash. Special guest C.T. Fletcher will be at the Culebra location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then head to the Petranco location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, get 20% off the entire store all day. That's Saturday, March 22nd. Rock's Spring Break Bash. Follow Rock's on Instagram at Rock's Discount or call 210-342-ROCK.
All right, guys, summer is coming. You could hit the gym, but you're probably going to say, I'll start next Monday. Here's what you need to do. You need to get M-Sculpt Neo from Dr. Connie Hires. It burns fat, builds muscle, and tightens up your abs, your arms, even your butt and your legs. And guess what? She can do it, too. Couples who sculpt together, well, call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com. FindYourBeautiful.com, because Dad Bod season is officially over, and Dr. Connie Hires is here to help you get ready for summer.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. If you're on YouTube, you can always subscribe and comment there on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Like Fred Caceres asking an interesting question. Wants to know what are the chances of us getting Greg Simmons on. I saw Greg a couple weeks ago.
Yeah?
Over at Longhorn Cafe. He was in there having lunch on a Saturday. He says, I have Dan Cook, Johnny Moore, Joe Reinagel, Don Harris, and Greg Simmons as the best sports TV reporters.
I like that list, except I didn't know Johnny Moore did that.
Johnny Moore? Like, I'm thinking of, Joe Fowler, who I was talking about today. We were at a lunch and an event that the Gunslingers were having at their facility, and Randy Carroll was there. And Randy was talking about the only sports he ever did was like a Pleasanton baseball game with Joe Fowler and Greg Simmons back in the day.
Oh, wow.
But Johnny Moore, I don't remember Johnny ever doing television. The only great reporter in this town that I remember named Johnny was Johnny Ludden, who covered the Spurs, and now he's running Yahoo Sports out in L.A.
Well, you remember Drew Pearson did TV
Drew
for a while.
Pearson did, yeah. Gary DeLon got him that gig.
Sure did.
And they worked the deal with Southwest with old Herb Keller to fly Drew in every weekend to do that.
Every weekend he did. He was the weekend sports guy, Ken's Five, for a little while. And so, but I don't remember Johnny. And either way, so I mean, if he did, he did. I don't remember Johnny being on TV.
I don't either.
But Fred, if you do, I mean, I honestly don't. I don't remember what was he on. That's what I'd want to know.
I don't remember him. As I'm thinking about, like back in the day, Greg Simmons has been there forever. It was Joe Fowler before that. Fred says he was on KSAT 12. back when it was 12-star final news in the 60s and 70s. Well, dude, I was born in 73. I mean, I think are we talking about a different Johnny Moore?
Yeah, well, how old is Johnny Moore, though? Is he that old?
Johnny Moore,
the basketball player. Isn't that who we're talking about?
Well, that's who I thought it was at first, but I mean, I don't think that Johnny Moore, who played in the 70s and 80s, was doing KSAT back then. Yeah, I could be wrong.
According to Wikipedia, he was born in 1958. So
you don't think he was doing TV in the 60s?
I don't think so, but maybe he was doing something else. I really don't know, so I can't refute that at all. But I appreciated Fred being a part of a very cool group of TV reporters.
Well, and just the long-time list, because, I mean, you go through KSAT, Cordell Patrick for all those years.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously David Sears and Larry Ramirez.
Right.
Who's, now the top dog over there. But I don't remember Johnny Moore doing television.
Well, you know who
Joe Fowler before that with his Boo Bear.
Yeah, Joe Fowler. He's doing a commercial now for a Duck vacuum cleaner.
Dude, it's
called the Duck.
That dude and his infomercials.
Yeah. The Duck. He says you can charge that, stick it in your glove box, and it holds a charge.
Really?
Oh, Joe Fowler, dude! I remember talking to Simmons about Joe Fowler and how he got that gig, and he works like 3 months out of the year.
Yep.
They shoot all of these infomercials, and then I don't know what he does after that.
Has a place in Colorado, and he gets a percentage of every duck you buy.
I'm sure he does, man. Cool stuff.
Very cool stuff. But, yeah, we'll see. Pledge is saying we've got 5 minutes left in the show because we're out early for basketball, but we still have to give away some Papa Roach tickets.
Well, let's do that then.
All right. Well, since Johnny Moore will double zero, we can't take 0 calls for that.
Can't do that.
Who's the – no, I won't do that to you. I was going to say the highest number of the Spurs retired numbers. I won't go 5-0.
Pledge got nothing to do. He's got no show tonight.
That's true. Caller 21, the Papa Roach tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
You're a dumb butt.
Yeah. Caller 21, 210-656-3776. I think about Johnny Moore and I think about golf courses and golf tournaments like the one we have coming up, where there will be some Johnny Moore-style scorekeeping.
I'm sure there will be, yes.
Allegedly.
Uh-huh.
Get signed up for a golf tournament coming up April 14th out at the Golf Club of Texas, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. The next generation of light beer benefits the Pan American Golf Association. It's $100 a player if you sign up as a foursome, $120 if you sign up as an individual. We are well over halfway sold out.
Yep.
So we are, and I didn't see an update today, but there might be single-digit teams left. So get signed up. It's going to be a great time out at the Golf Club of Texas. Plenty of Flight by Yingling on the course and a lot of other things to
Spirits.
drink. Yes, you will not be thirsty. I can promise you that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't played before, you need to. And if you have played, I'm sure you're already signed up because once you come out once, you're going to be hooked.
And if you're waiting to see what the weather's going to be, Joe Taylor over there guarantees great weather.
Guaranteed.
Or is it Bill Reinagel?
Well, either way, it doesn't matter.
It's same guy.
Guaranteed, yes.
Guaranteed at great weather, guaranteed a great time. Kind of like the tournament. Now, tomorrow the Blitz is live out at Twin Peaks, the Park North location. On Friday, we're going to be at the 410 and 151 location, but make sure you get out and see us over the next couple of days watching all the games. Now, I don't count just a personal level, these play-in games, first four, whatever the hell they want to call them. I generally don't give a damn about them, but last night, first game, thriller. Two teams that I didn't know anything about. Light game last night kind of sucked.
Yeah, North Carolina took control of that, and it was over before it even started.
Now, the early game today is American University against Mount St. Mary's. So you've got the Mountaineers against the Eagles.
Might be a good game.
American is favored by 2.5. The late game tonight, the Musketeers against the Longhorns. Texas, 2.5-point dog.
Oh, it's come down to 2.5.
That's what it says right here.
How about that?
On my deal. You can listen to both games right here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Now, granted, Longhorns are playing. There is a beer bet in play for tonight between Ryan Eggle and me. And we both have bits of beer bellies, but they have shrunk a little bit over the last several weeks because both Joe and I went over to Dr. Connie Heyer's Plastic Surgery and Med Spa and did M-Sculpt Neo. You want to ask how it works? I had to buy new pants. I'm wearing 32s today instead of 34s because my 34s don't fit anymore after seeing Dr. Connie Heyer's.
Yeah, that's nice, and mine are a little loose. I may have to go get a smaller size as well. That's what it does, though. This M-Sculpt Neo, it's like doing 20,000 crunches in one setting. Plus, it has heat there that melts the fat away, and it continues to work even after you get off the table. That's the beauty of that thing.
Whether it's for you or for the lady in your life, and there's a lot of specials this month for the lady in your life, like $2,000 off a mommy makeover, $1,000 off a tummy tuck. They've got some great specials on lipo right now. Just make sure you tell them the Blitz sent you when you call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com.
Ready to shoot your shot? Log into BetMGM and make your picks in our March Matchups $250K Pick'em for your chance to win a share of bonus bets. It's free to play and easy to get started. Just log into your BetMGM account and predict what will happen at different points throughout the college basketball tournament. You'll earn points with every correct answer, which gives you a shot to win a share of bonus bets. Just pick what will happen throughout March Matchups, and if you make enough correct picks, you'll win a share of bonus bets. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards or non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
If it's the NCAA tournament, it's on Westwood 1.
It will be Grant Hill to make the pass. They're not going to guard Hill making the inbounds pass. Here's a high looper. There's Leitner. He turns, he shoots. It is good! Christian Leitner hits a turnaround 17-footer at the buzzer, and the Duke Blue Devils head to Minneapolis. My, oh my, oh my.
6.9 to go. In it comes to Ethan Morton. He's going to dribble this one out. And the second verse is the same as the first. UConn repeats as national champions.
Now, it's time for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament. Here's your host, Jason Horowitz.
We welcome you to our NCAA broadcast headquarters in Los Angeles for First Four doubleheader coverage of the 2025 Men's Basketball Championship. Tonight's broadcast of the NCAA tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network is sponsored by AutoZone, by Cintas, by Granger, by Pluto TV, by Progressive Insurance, by Kohl's, and by NCAA.com. Hey, folks, how are you? Happy to have you with us once again in our studios and welcome you to our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Men's Basketball Tournament. Road to the Final Four in San Antonio began last night in Dayton. Alabama State with a buzzer beater. North Carolina with a blowout. They both advance in this tournament. And tonight we head back to Dayton for another doubleheader as we check the schedule of tournament games coming up on Westwood One. Sponsored by the 2027 X15 engine from Cummins. Featuring better fuel efficiency, immense power, and backed by 25-plus years of experience, the 2027 X15 is built to rise above the challenges of tomorrow. The X15 forever rising. Later tonight, it is Xavier and Texas, the right to move on to take on Illinois. It all starts with American and Mount St. Mary's, a pair of 22-win teams. We welcome my partner, Creighton guard Nick Bond. Nick, we had great action in the first game, blowout in the second. What are you expecting tonight, my friend?
Yeah, I think hopefully some excitement again. In the first game, you're going to have a superstar in Matt Rodgers from American University. This is going to be his 137th game played, fifth-year senior, 6'9", inside and out. Then in the second game in the nightcap, Trey Johnson, superstar freshman, just his 35th game. So two different ends of the spectrum of college basketball. You got to love it. Trey Johnson's a projected top 10 pick, 19.8 points per game, led the SEC in scoring. He can really fill it up for the Longhorns.
Yeah, we'll get to that game later, but it all starts with Mount St. Mary's and American, two schools separated by just 65 miles. American University in D.C., Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, Maryland, and their coach Donnie Lind in his first year as a D1 coach.
Certainly our players, they know their players. We both have a lot of players from the DMV, the D.C. metro area. And so the guys are familiar. My first year as a head coach, I've never coached against Coach Simpkins. He and I know each other, because of the area and, sitting in a lot of the same gyms and knowing a lot of the same people. But we just have a unique, I guess, respect probably for each other and each other's team. They beat us 4 times in a row. So we've got a little bit of a edge to us to make sure that we don't let that streak keep going more than just trying to win a tournament game, I guess.
It is the 71st all-time meeting between American and Mount St. Mary's, and it gets going next. Nate Gatter, King McClure, and Dayton on the other side. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Progressive Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance might be the easiest part of owning a home. Definitely easier than this.
Psst, honey. What? Shh, there's a salesman walking up the driveway.
Oh, no, he's got a clipboard.
What do we do?
Get down.
Down?
On the floor, you...
Shoot, did he see us?
Why are you breathing so loud?
Home ownership isn't easy, but with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, shopping for home insurance is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Progressive Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance might be the easiest part of owning a home. Definitely easier than this.
Psst, honey.
What?
Shh, there's a salesman walking up the driveway.
Oh, no, he's got a clipboard.
What do we do?
Get down.
Down?
On the floor, you...
Shoot, did he see us?
Why are you breathing so loud?
Home ownership isn't easy, but with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, shopping for home insurance is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
As of 9 a.m. this morning, our EV trucking company is officially in operation.
Andrew's zero-emission trucks are driving the transportation category forward.
We'll make driving safer, easier, and less stressful.
Now our technology needs to keep up with demand.
He needs to put pedal to the metal on hiring more software engineers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
And the Ad Council.
It's time for round 2 from UD Arena in Dayton, Ohio. The first 4 continues with a pair of 16 seeds colliding. The American Eagles, champions of the Patriot League, against the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers, champions of the Metro Atlantic. They get together for the 71st time in their history. A series that goes back more than 80 years comes to the NCAA tournament tonight. Nate Gatter, King McClure, our entire Westwood One crew with you from Dayton. It's time for the Keys to the Game, sponsored by Realtors. Buying a home can be a lot, but with the ethical expertise of a Realtor, you don't have to do it alone. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. All right, King, let's start with American.
The keys
for American. They have to pressure the basketball. And it starts with Elijah Stevens at 5'10". His ability to be able to pick up the basketball at the point of attack will be key. Mount St. Mary's turns it over 22% of the time they have the ball. Currently 359th out of 364 in the country. For Mount St. Mary's, they have to guard the three-point line. They're currently 51st in three-point defense, and 37% of American shots are behind the arc. They have to make sure that they have a point of emphasis on the closeouts, run them off the line, and do a good job of guarding the three-point line.
Let's check the starting lineup, sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. For American, 22-12, 13-5 in the Patriot League, and blew out Navy at home to win the league last week. They're under second-year head coach Dwayne Simpkins, a basketball legend for the DMV and a high school coach in the D.C. area. He'll start with Elijah Stevens in the backcourt, just 5'9", the third-team All-Patriot League guard, making his 102nd career start. He's joined by Colin Smalls, who's been shooting well from three-point range recently. And Lincoln Ball, the leading rebounder, a 6'6" guard, averages nearly 6 boards a game. The front court is Greg Jones, Patriot League All-Defensive Selection, sophomore from Virginia. And the Knoxville, Maryland native Matt Rodgers, 6'9" grad student, first-team All-Patriot League, 17 points per game. Meanwhile, for Mount St. Mary's, 22-12, 12-8 in the Metro Atlantic Conference, beat Iona in the title game of the weekend under first-year head coach Donnie Lind. Dallas Hobbs had a team high 18 in that Metro Atlantic Championship game. He starts in the backcourt with Xavier Lipscomb, the team leader with 4.5 assists a game, and Javon Urban. The forwards are leading scorer Dola Adebayo, redshirt junior from Fort Myers, Florida, 13 points a game, and J.D. Cordelia, who averages a team high 7 rebounds and change per game, the Dutch senior at 6'9". Once again for American, the backcourt is Stevens, Smalls, and Ball. Jones and Rodgers are the forwards. For Mount St. Mary's, the guards are Hobbs, Lipscomb, and Urban. Adebayo and Cordelia are in the front court. Time now for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Our officials for this evening's first game, Larry Scorrato, D.G. Nelson, and Helen Milner. American comes in winners of 4 in a row, and off that 22-point win last Wednesday at home over Navy. 9-2 this year in games decided by 5 or fewer, including 7 straight wins. Mount St. Mary's 7-2 in those tight games. Winners of 4 in a row, despite playing without 2 of their top 5 scorers on the season. Mount St. Mary's in the light blue, American in white. Rodgers jumps for the Eagles. Adebayo for the Mountaineers. Adebayo wins the tip, and Mount St. Mary's comes left to right. Lipscomb pulls up. Left wing 3 goes down. Just 7 seconds into the game. Xavier Lipscomb, a 34% three-point shooter, did not hesitate.
Wasted no time, Nate. Letting it fly off rip. That's what you like to see in big games like this.
American basketball attacking the rim to our left. Leading scorer Matt Rodgers, jump step, mid-post right, and he banks it home with the right hand to put American on the board. 3-2 Mount St. Mary's after 30 seconds.
And you can't let a guy like Rodgers get going. He sees one go in. You could potentially be in for a very long night.
Top of the key, Cordelia gives it up to Lipscomb, who throws it to the left wing to a curling Javon Urban. Nearly lost the ball. Out to Lipscomb, throws it underneath. Cordelia all alone for the two-hand jam.
That's just a great down by Lipscomb. Lipscomb does so many good things for this Mount St. Mary's team. We saw his scoring, his passing, his leadership.
Left wing, Ball, wide open 3. Missed it off the heel. Weak side, a rebound, batted to Hobbs for Mount St. Mary's. He comes out left to right. Drops it back for Adebayo. Thought about a pull-up 3. Swinging around to Urban, far side left wing. Working against Jones and Americans man-to-man defense. Back to Lipscomb, right slot. Pick and roll Cordelia. Skip pass right corner, Hobbs. He spins in place. He pulls up for 3. Missed it to the left. Rebounded on the weak side by Ball for the Eagles. American basketball trailing by 3. Quick transition. Triple from the left corner goes down for Colin Smalls. 5th-year grad student. He spent his entire career at American. Not a great three-point shooter, but he has heated up from deep the last couple of games.
Yeah, shooting 50 from 3 to your point in the last 3.
On the block, Cordelia spins to the baseline. Righty reverse under the rim is good. Mount St. Mary's back on top, 7-5. 18-10 to go first half.
Cordelia known as a defensive guy, showing us that he can get busy on the block right there.
Stevens, bounce pass, left block, extended ball, kick out. Smalls, right wing, three is good. Colin Smalls picks up right where he left off. Back-to-back triples, and the Eagles have a 1-point lead after 2 minutes.
Well, how about the pass to the open shooter out of the post? And you got to find Smalls, because if you don't, he's knocking it down right now. He's confident.
Mount St. Mary's basketball trailing by 1. Right post entry, Adebayo bumped by Ball, throws it up with the left hand. Basket goes down, but they wave it off. Larry Scarano, the official on the baseline, says no basket. The foul on the floor. 17:40 remaining first half. Pretty frantic start. You'd think this pace probably favors American.
Yeah, 100%. But American is also known to slow the game down at certain times. But the way that they shoot the ball, if you allow them to get open looks in transition, it's not a good thing, but they are 359th in the country in average possession length. So they do like to take their time and be extremely deliberate in the half court.
Lipscomb on the baseline, triggers it into Irvin. Right corner three, missed it short. Hopped off the rim again. That allowed Adebayo to get the weak side offensive rebound and stick it back off the glass to put Mount St. Mary's up 9-8.
And I like this matchup right here. Adebayo versus Rodgers. Both of these young men do a tremendous job on the low block. They mean so much to their team. I love the matchup.
Between the rings, it's Stevens. Works to the right side for American. Trailing by 1 with a basketball. Smalls pulls up, left wing three, missed it short. Rebound bounces in the middle of the paint. Mount St. Mary's grabbed it, but a foul, and Matt Rodgers is down. Matt Rodgers went down on the near side of the lane. He is grimacing in pain on his chest, talking to his teammates who have surrounded him. He pushes himself back up and is limping it off in his bright pink shoes in the near side left corner down at American's offensive end of the floor. Good to see the first team All-Patriot League selection get right back up.
I think he hit his knee initially on the floor. Oh. Looking at it again. Not even hit it, but an awkward landing when he came down.
And off the inbound, American steps out of bounds. Matt Mayock, the sophomore, just into the game, turns it over in his first couple of seconds on the floor. He stepped on the sideline after catching the inbound pass. It's the first turnover for either team in the game. So Mount St. Mary's basketball with a 9-8 lead on American in the third of our 4 games of the first 4. Xavier and Texas will play tonight. Between the circles, Adebayo works to the left wing on the dribble, hands off to Lipscomb. He's looking to the right side for a curling Hobbs, instead throws it left corner to Irving. Gets into the baseline, throws it right corner Hobbs on a pump fake, step back three. He got it. He knew it all the way. The tongue out, the 3 fingers up, staring into the crowd. Dallas Hobbs hit the triple, and it's 12-8 Mount St. Mary's. But behind the play, Matt Rodgers is limping again, favoring his right knee. And what a catastrophic loss this would be for American, which has a large contingent of fans who made the trip here to Dayton. And they're watching their 17-point-per-game star limp off to the bench across the way.
And it was the way that he landed on the possession before. It like the knee kind of sort of, it was an awkward landing. It bent back in a weird way. And I think he's feeling the repercussions of that.
Mount St. Mary's puts on some full-court pressure, trying to speed up American a little bit. Here they come in transition. Left corner, triple on the way for the Eagles' Greg Jones. He missed it. And a weak side rebound of Mount St. Mary's. 4-point lead on the ball after 3.5 minutes. Post-entry lob is stolen by Eric Michaels, the true freshman, just into the game for American, having to reach deeper into the bench with the apparent injury to Matt Rodgers. Stevens drives left block, bounce pass to the right block. And he finds Michaels, who backs in, turns to the left hand, hook shot, no, but it's tipped up and in. Michaels, with 2 blue jerseys right around him, got enough on the basketball to put it up and in.
Well, he's so physically gifted. He imposes his will by using his strength down low to carve out space and get the angle that he wants.
Near side right Adebayo off a jab step. Rise and fire 3 is good over Greg Jones. Adebayo had only a little sliver of space, and he stuffed the jumper for a 15-10 lead.
And he's 60 from 3 in the last 4 games. I mean, we're seeing a bunch of confident dudes knocking it down early on, Nate.
Far side of the right wing, it's Matt Mayock. Talking about confidence, you wonder where confidence levels are for these Eagles bench players. Mayock attacks high post, bounce pass left block. Michaels, it's batted away from him and stolen by Hobbs. Mount St. Mary's left to right up 5. Lob toward the rim, bangs off the backboard. Cordelia wasn't ready for it. American on the run. Near side left wing Jones goes out to Jeff Sprouse, another youngster in off the bench for American. On the drive by Stevens, he is fouled on the floor, and that takes us into a timeout. 15-14 to play first half. Mount St. Mary's 15, American 10. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.